Gather round, we got no gods to please. Saturday night, no sermons, just ease. Discussions flow like midnight breeze. No prophets here, just minds to tease. We talk big bangs in evolution, question faith with our solution. Stars align in our confusion, breaking free from old illusion. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make your stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn, feel golden chill. Saturday night, we've got the skill. Echoes of a godless choir, like the world that sparked the fire. Free our mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night at the Atheists, hosted by me, Dave, at the Captive Desk. And I'm joined with Snack and
Snack.
Scott and Mike with Snack and James Apperson
Neither guy.
and Simos. Hello, Simos.
Hello.
So Snack is going to take over the show tonight.
That's right. He's going to be the alpha. He's going to intellectually dominate
He's the
everybody.
alpha. Yeah,
It's Snacker Day night at the Atheists.
yeah, snacker day night. Yep.
Well, I am truly electrified for the show tonight. I was fixing the dryer door switch, and I was holding the chassis and popping the switch apart with my screwdriver, and got a little electricity through my hand. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I should probably unplug this thing."
Oh, yeah.
So some of us know better, but over the years we're like, "Oh, it's just a switch," and you just watch what you're doing, and no, you should unplug it, or you get electrified.
Do it yourself at home shock therapy.
God, I had this big Irish, like he was a big belly Irishman named Don McElree for a landlord, and our water heater broke, and he came over to fix the water heater, right? And he's got a screwdriver, and I said, "You want me to hit the breaker?" And he said, no, don't worry about it, and he sticks the screwdriver in there, and there was this like big blue-green arc, and then he blew him backwards, and he says, "Why don't you hit the breaker?" It's like, why don't you shut that off?
Famous last words. Don't worry about it.
That was it was a 220 hookup for that water heater.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
got him
gosh.
good.
Yeah, luckily the dryer power for the door switch is only the 110. I didn't hit 220.
Yeah, 220 is lethal as hell.
When I worked at the gas station way back in the day, remember how I had all the windows, with the aluminum frame, on the gas stations, they were all windows.
Yeah.
And people were getting shocked by the door. it's like, and we were looking and we weren't getting shocked. And it's like, oh, what's going on? And then, well, finally we figured out it's when it would rain, right? There was some water getting in.
Yeah.
And then people were getting shocked, right? So we had a regular customer, was old friend of my boss, and he's an electrician. He rolls in, and we told him, hey, people are getting shocked. He's like, okay. So he starts licking his finger. He starts touching. He's like, oh yeah, here it is.
Oh no. Yeah, my dad.
So unplug your appliance, even if it's just a switch. But yeah, I fixed the door switch, and I opened the dryer, and the light didn't come on, right? And I was like, oh, I must need a light bulb, right? And then I noticed the dryer hadn't quite finished, but it was just about done, And I like to get my T-shirts out right away so they don't get wrinkly, So I opened the door, and it didn't stop tumbling. And I'm like, so I'm playing with the switch, and it just kind of was just not doing anything. It was just, I said, okay, so, but an easy, quick fix other than getting shocked. And now it turns off, and the light works again and everything. So there we go.
Oh, one more Don McElroy story. We had a big hornet's nest, like about 2 feet long at the peak of the roof, and he went up there on like a 30-foot ladder, and he's up there with no shirt on, with a blowtorch, and he's bitching and swearing, and those hornets are just swarming around him. It's just like he didn't give a shit. He got them all.
My son got hit with those little bees last year. Went up to change a light bulb or something up on the ladder, and they just came out of a crack, and man, are they mean. I think those are the same ones that got me in the ankle that one year when I was raking, and I disturbed them, and they're called little MFers. That's what they're called. I didn't realize at first because I'm raking, and their hole must have been, over there where I was raking, and so all of a sudden it felt like I was getting electric shocks in my ankles,
Ooh.
And I looked down, I'm like, what, because it's not a brutal stinger, because they're small. But yeah, it felt like I was getting all these zots, and at first I couldn't figure out what did an electric line fall down or what, And it took me a minute, and I'm like, oh damn, yeah, I disturbed a bee's nest. Other than that, though, with all the gardening and everything we do, I really haven't had a problem getting stung. All hail Bigfoot. And speaking of Bigfoot, I got my HiveSci Bigfoot shirt on tonight. And if you want to have a great t-shirt like this, you can check the description below. Go over to HiveSci, get yourself a Bigfoot shirt or a Mothman shirt or a Jersey Devil shirt. Or I think Bree's got a Pride shirt coming out too. Go get yourself some cool cryptid shirts. All right. And while you're down there, links in the description for everybody that's here. And make sure you like and subscribe to everybody. Like and subscribe to my channel too. I don't know what happened today. I lost 3 subscribers.
Please
I don't know.
Subscribe to my channel, please.
I don't know what I did, but I apologize. So I hope you resubscribe.
It was all 3 members of the Trinity is what that was.
They were gone.
So tonight we have Voice of Truth, right? Is that what he's called?
Yeah, and there's not much on this guy, other than he seems to have disappeared. So,
well, I'm glad Per Asper Ad Astra is with us tonight to keep her out of trouble.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm
guessing it's Kansas.
The only thing I can tell you is it's called Voice of Truth. A little over 100 subscribers.
20.
And the only thing it says, the only thing.
Voice of Truth. There's nothing narcissistic about that, is there?
No, nothing at all.
The only thing in the description is, I repeat the same things that need repeated for those who have severe learning disabilities. ... all capitals with an exclamation point. Atheists. So we have severe learning disabilities, and he needs to repeat these things because we just don't get it.
So he's
That's
not
very
doing that
good.
with any kind of bias or prejudice or anything?
No,
Might be.
absolutely not.
It might be because he's got a very smart friend, although they are invisible
Yeah.
and
Well,
imaginary.
he hasn't been active for 4 years, and one of his videos 4 years ago was Joe Biden endorsed by KKK. Did that happen?
No, it did not happen.
So yeah, it seems he had a bug up his rear, and he was putting out videos, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. So it was the black helicopters, or he didn't listen and get his poke in his arm, or whatever it was, or he just had enough. That was it. That's all he had to say, and he moved on. Whatever it is, nothing recent. So
He got tired of you ate the tits.
yeah, dang ate the tits. And I did want to mention, I noticed this week it was Robin Webster's birthday. So happy birthday, Robin.
Oh, all right.
Day to you.
Happy birthday. If we maybe
Birthday.
Robin will stop by. Sometimes she stops by a little later. We'll see. But yeah, happy birthday, Robin. And I also saw it was Tobin's birthday as well.
There you go.
And Tobin's been a little quiet lately. As some of us know, going through some life changes. He moved apparently to a different town or somehow. Haven't heard much from him lately. But we miss you, Tobin. We hope everything's going okay.
We wish you well.
Yeah.
And because I'm feeling missing Tobin, we're gonna start off the show with Tobin's song that he wrote for the Grassman, and that'll be our way of saying, hey, we love you, Tobin, and we miss you, and happy birthday.
Absolutely. And yeah, there we go.
Everybody hear it okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear it now.
your metronome.
In Ohio wood, where the whispers play, the grassman roams in shades of gray. Bigfoot joins a legend's dance, forest secrets, their only trance. In Ohio wood, in Ohio woods. Skeptics say the Grassman is elusive play. Bigfoot tales, a skeptic's grin, no proof within. Ohio woods. Ohio woods. Skeptic's chest, a skeptic's quest. Bigfoot jokes we weave with glee. Hide and seek, champion we decree. In Ohio woods. In Ohio woods, where the whispers play. In Ohio woods, where the shadows play. Ohio woods. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Wish y'all well-being. Thanks, Dave.
And again, happy birthday, Tobin. And I see Robin is in the chat. Hello, Robin. We were just playing that song. That goes out to you too, Robin. You and Tobin are maybe a day apart on birthdays, something like that. So yeah, we were just celebrating both of your birthdays. So happy birthday, Robin, and happy birthday, Tobin. And may you both have many, many more. And now on to business. And let's see, we've got Ryan joining us. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. And of course, Robin is here too. And
Doubting Thomas on my channel.
Oh, DT. Hello, DT.
Doubting Thomas.
How's your sister?
Per Aspera. Nerdy Rodent.
You know, if you can get any of these wonderful women to join you on panels some night, it would raise our street cred.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin has an open invite whenever she wants to come on, and there are other ladies as well. I see Ryan in the chat. Ryan, if you ever want to join us on a Saturday too, you're welcome. We have other folks come on. So
yeah, James, if you want, I can wear a dress if you want, James.
I just assumed you already were there.
Oh.
Get a woman on and raise the IQ a little bit, Dave.
Fix ourselves. Well, we've had a few folks on. We've had the 4 or 5 ladies have been on. Not enough. But yes,
they're underrepresented for some reason.
You know,
they know better.
I don't want to brag, except I absolutely do want to brag. I did have Per Aspera at Astra show up on my panel. Here the last year ones. So I'm just saying, you guys ain't gonna be able to top that, but go for it.
Folks are welcome, and like I say, we've had different guests join us, and yeah, folks are welcome. If you want to, let me know for another week or anything like that. All hail Bigfoot at gmail.com.
I think it would be a fun
shout at me.
An atheist ladies' night. I'd show up for that in the chat.
Yeah, we'll have to work, and maybe we can talk to Patty and Nancy and Maya and get the word around. We'll see. It'd be great. We'll definitely keep it in mind.
Okay, I think
for the time being,
with all this back patting and mutual enjoyment of the sexes, I think it's time that somebody called me stupid. Dave,
you think so?
I would like to be called stupid.
Are you overdue?
I love being called stupid.
Otherwise, my head starts inflating and I become this massive narcissist. Like, as if I was to be called, like, the voice of God or truth or something, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Well, you're in luck.
Oh, wow. That's why I come here, Dave.
Oh, my gosh. Delay there.
There you go.
Atheists
Beautiful.
Love them. Love them already.
Okay.
are hypocrites.
Thank you.
You heard right. They're hypocrites. They're people with double standards who point the finger at Christians and accuse them of being the same things that they are.
Oh, that's interesting. When he said that, I was thinking that I had, I lived in water, I had a very large mouth as a friend.
I was expecting that to sting a little bit more. Spank me harder, Daddy.
He's not done yet. He's not done yet.
Oh,
all right.
May I have another?
I thought that was
exactly. But they cannot see their own faults because they're too busy pointing their fingers at Christians.
Oh.
Okay. I don't use, well, there are some things I will blame, like things in politics and stuff, but
I don't know if
generally,
you guys have an instinct or whatever, like where you can kind of pick up subtext. But right now with this guy, I'm picking up the subtext of. I don't know if you are.
but you know,
Am I off here? Am I off here?
we've seen some attitudes from folks that you know they put these videos out and then they don't like when people comment on them.
Yeah, I mean, also, as you rightly say there, Dave, we try not to point our fingers at Christians or any theists, just more the ideas and maybe the figureheads, or at least the godheads of the such theists.
We do like to have some fun, but we repeat over and over, it's never personal. It's the arguments, or in this case, just whatever he's yelling about.
Is this a recent video that he made or an older one?
It's 4 years old.
It's 4 years old. We were talking earlier. He has a bunch of anti-Biden posts, bunch of anti-CNN posts, and anti-don't do what the doctor tells you posts, and then he disappeared. So I don't know if he, we were saying, if he passed because he didn't listen, or if the black helicopters took him, or if he just had an X amount of things to say and he was done and he moved on one way or another.
I have a relative from Texas that was anti-vax, and then he got it. He got the disease, and you could hear the tires on his truck screeching as he tore off to get the vaccine as soon as he possibly could. After he got it, he was so goddamn sick he almost died.
So whatever it is, our friend here has disappeared, and I couldn't find any videos where he shows himself or anything, and so there's absolutely no information other than he really thinks we need remedial lessons. So, hello, Chris, and our dying son. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
The average atheist will say, "Oh, well, as a Christian, you believe in things you cannot see. That's stupid."
Yeah, pretty much.
I can go hardball, right? But we've also learned that a lot of folks in this community used to believe in these things. So, those of us that were never really believers, we've come to a better understanding that indoctrination's a powerful thing, and as we were talking the other evening or so, you can convince groups of people to do awful things, and including castrating themselves and all kind of nonsense. So, sometimes I think it's stupid, but then I got to remember there's a powerful, psychology behind it and everything. So, I got a siren here.
Personally, I do believe in things I can't see, of course, mainly because see is only one of the senses, and also I use reason to understand the world around me, which means that if there's things which seem reasonable to me, then that seems to be a good reason that I should believe they're there, such as quarks or gravity or any number of scientific theories for which we have probably heaps of evidence for, which we may necessarily not be able to see.
I don't believe in superheroes that I can't see.
I see Jasper's dropping some emojis, and don't forget we have maybe I didn't tell you, we have memberships now. So if you'd like to join the channel, we got a lot of great emojis, and the members out there, appreciate everybody. And I should also mention, I got a notification we have 100 members now at the captive desk. So welcome everybody.
You, as an atheist, have you ever seen anything pop into existence from nothing? Not a single atheist seen this.
Nope.
We agree. This is a moldy oldie with the nothing thing, and as we've pointed out before, a bunch of us participated in a video that Deconverted Man put together. None of us hold that we think everything came from nothing, and as far as I understand it, and speaking of Deconverted Man, there's Deconverted Man. Hello, Deconverted Man.
Hey.
Yeah, Deconverted Man, if you want to drop that link for your video, feel free. Us regular YouTubers up to the superstars like R and Ra, we're all in the video saying, no, we don't hold to, nobody holds to this idea from nothing. And the way I understand it, nothing is incoherent, because if you would begin to explain nothing, you would have to have something, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of an incoherent thing, and no, we don't say that. But as long as you keep repeating it, I guess we're going to keep repeating that. Nope, we don't say that.
Also, you know, I think we don't know what happened before causal reality, and just because we have, or we accept the fact that we have very little information on what could happen before causal reality, doesn't mean that we think that it came from nothing, or that it's impossible that it should come from some kind of nothing, regardless of what you think nothing is. So I think I'm agnostic to that anyway.
Deconverted Man dropped the link in the chat there. You can check the link out. There it is.
I always point out that there was no before causal reality. So
yes, very good.
Yeah.
So DM says nothing is a paradox and can't exist.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you correcting that.
Doesn't popcorn pop into existence from nothing? There's no way in hell that big thing could fit inside that little tiny kernel, right?
Yeah,
I don't believe that. Yeah.
That's truly proof of Bigfoot right there. I mean,
yeah, it is. Proof of the supernatural.
And I am wearing this.
Okay.
Go ahead, James.
I was going to read a comment or two, but go ahead.
I was just going to say I am wearing this great Bigfoot shirt that I got from Breeze Merch over at HiveSci. Get yourself one too, and you can have a great shirt like me, and it's nice and soft. It's a nice T-shirt. You'll like it. So get yourself one, and go ahead, James, and respond.
Nice. So Paraspera at Astra says nothing can produce nothing. That's just math. We also have Made by Jim Bob in the chat says atheism is primitive.
We have Jim Bob here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
No.
I was truly amazed last week at just how fast Jim Bob blocked me on a different channel here several days back. I was like, he must have that block button like open for emergencies. It was like quick.
He's got all my channels blocked. He's so thin-skinned. It's pathetic. It really is. Hello, Commander. Hello, Obi Atheist. And God equals the square root. Hello. And Raphael, hello. We got all kind of folks joining us. Jasper, I think I mentioned. If not, I'm going to say it again because Jasper's dropping emojis. I saw Simos dropping emojis. Robin dropping emojis. Love the emojis. Drop those emojis. And if you're not a member, you can hit the join button and join in on the fun with all the great emojis. And we've got a new one. I think it was Aunt Jur, maybe somebody suggested one, and another emoji opened up, so I used the idea. So we have a Spirit Away now, a spray bottle. So if you need to spray away some things, we've got the spray away emoji now.
Yeah, and of course, just to open up, in all fairness, Jim Bob, if you're out there, anytime you'd like to put a non-circular argument for the existence of God into the chat, please feel free, and we will gladly give it our full attention.
We should have him on as a special guest on Snata someday.
No.
Oh, he's special guest. Special. Well, he's special.
No, he is special. I'll give him that. But first I want to know that he can give a non-circular argument.
As long as he's too cowardly and thin-skinned and has me blocked every which way, but every which way you can or whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously he doesn't have any interest in talking to me, so
yeah,
that's fine.
I don't think it's part of his grift that he would talk to people as low down and a smaller channel as us, Dave.
I've asked over and over, if he would tell me the story of the Magic Zoo boat, because some nights I can't sleep, and we all have those nights, and I could use with a nice bedtime story. And a lot of times Jim Bob seems to already have his pajamas on in his videos, and so I thought, hey, a little nice little story, but he hasn't taken me up on it.
No. Well, to be honest, I think he needs to study philosophy for a couple of years more yet before he's ready to take on the atheist community. I don't think his level of knowledge in philosophy is woefully lacking at the moment. And I mean, it is for everybody that starts out new to it, It's a very tough subject, so I don't blame him for it. But to talk around like what you're talking about in it is the height of incredulity gone mad, I think.
Well, he had his 15 minutes. I think everybody covered him, then they were done with it. So that's he'll bounce back in a few years once he's learned that there aren't really any answers in philosophy as such.
Do you know what I like to do for fun, to basically as a science experiment? I like to get my little rubber ducky boat and I put all these little Monopoly animals in it, like the dog and all that stuff, and float them on the boat. And then I lay down in the bathtub and then I pretend that I'm the fountains of the deep and I stand up really fast and see what happens to the little rubber ducky boat. And I'll be damned, it tips over every time. I don't understand how the Magic Zoo boat floated during a tsunami. I don't get it.
I see KariAnne in the chat. Hello, KariAnne. And KariAnne's link for her new channel is in the description. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. And Hillary's emails joining in. Hello. And I think that was it. If I missed anybody, hello, everybody. We got a lot of folks here and all the best folks joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. And let's get back to being told how stupid we are.
Yes, please.
Not a single atheist ever saw the universe create itself by no one, for no reason at all, and from nothing. No. Not a single atheist was there.
That's right. None of us were there. This is like a Ken Ham, right? Were you there?
It's funny how it's really cool how he can use sound engineering to filter out the sound of all the people at the bar he's ranting at while he's drinking too much.
Hello, Minnow. How you doing?
I figured out why he hasn't produced videos for just for that short time and for 4 years. He's too stupid to figure out how to charge his laptop.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna yell a lot, Robin. He doesn't like us remedial folks much at all.
But they believe it happened anyway, because a man they don't even know from Adam, with a name badge who works in a lab, said so.
Okay, well, this is what do you call it? A appeal to authority fallacy or something. No, don't listen to one scientist, because one scientist can be wrong. That's why scientists check each other. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah. He's going to talk about a scientist named Richard Dawkins Hitchens. Am I reading the transcript right? Richard Dawkins Hitchens. I didn't know. I don't know him. Do you know him? I don't know. Well, see what he said.
I think that was the baby name for Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens' secret marriage.
Twins, maybe? Maybe they're twins.
Yeah, they're twins, or maybe it's hyphenated.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see.
We've got Obi Atheist joining us, and we've got Left-Handed Jedi joining us. Hello, folks. Good to see you.
Richard Dawkins.
Richard Dawkins. Yeah.
Oh,
Why can't they get their...
Hitchens.
They always mix up those, don't they?
Well,
Hawking,
he thinks Hitchens is a scientist.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he's saying Dawkins kind of funny. I think he is either under the influence of some alcohol or maybe he's having a stroke.
yep.
Hitchens and all the other famous scientists, Lawrence Krauss, none of
Oh dear.
Hitchens is not a scientist. He was a journalist, and he wrote for a lot of magazines and papers and was on a lot of news shows. Not a scientist, though. And we have Left-Handed Jedi spreading some love here, gifting 5 memberships to the captive desk. And let's see if they come up. One of them came up to Breastimus. There's been a glitch lately. They haven't been showing up.
Bretimus, yeah.
Yeah, but either way, very much appreciated, Left-Handed Jedi. You rock. Thank you very much. And don't forget, folks, we have memberships. You can hit that join button below and subscribe to the channel. For some reason, I lost a couple of subs today. I don't know what I did to them, but I apologize. So please resubscribe, okay? I appreciate it. Thank you.
them were there in the beginning and saw it happen.
No,
None of them.
Worst
Lawrence
argument ever.
Krauss.
Worst argument ever. None of them were there in the beginning to see what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you
both-
there? Were you there when God
Were you
created
there?
the universe, or when the ark floated? Were you there? It's like, no, you weren't there
No.
either.
The universe from nothing. He wasn't there. It's theoretical, not factual. His book is not based on observation. He didn't.
His book. Whose book?
I don't know.
Okay. So
Hitchens?
I mean, I love the
Maybe.
like, I love the half the engagement. Like he's trying to say, well, naturalism is false because you weren't there. I mean, obviously naturalism is not dependent on whether anybody witnessed the beginning of the universe or not. That's for certain. But also the fact that he's trying to engage with some kind of empiricism is great. The fact that he said "see" at the beginning as if that was the only sense, which it's not by a long way. And then secondly, the fact that he's using this old antiquated term of empiricism, which is only things that you can observe, right? I mean, it's things that can be observed or reasoned to through observation or with observation. So, like, it's not quite as simple as he's trying to make it out. And observation in this point is not just see. Observation is also taking data points and reasoning from the data points to good theories. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe people thought that 200 years ago, but they certainly don't think that that's what empiricism is now. Anyway, carry on.
See it happen. It's speculation, presuppositions, assuming, and guesswork, and theories and wild ideas. He didn't see it happen. No scientist did, no atheist did. Yet the atheist believed it happened anyways, by itself, from nothing, for no one, for no reason at all. The entire universe just created itself. And not one atheist seen this happen. But yet they believe this is the way it happened. They believe it. It did it itself. No God is needed. No gods of any kind are needed. It just created itself on its own, fine-tuned itself. The earth formed, an atmosphere formed specifically for life, all for no reason at all. Everything just is the way it is because it did it itself.
Okay, so begging the question a little bit there. A little bit. I'm not saying. A little bit. Saying that it all formed for a reason. No, we don't think that intention is part of the universe. We're not idealists in general. Like atheists tend not to be idealists. They can be dualists. I know quite a few which are. But the language of intention is something that we use to describe the universe. It's not something that the universe actually is. And that's the difference that you're trying to point out here. And when you say for no reason, we can make up plenty of reasons, right? That's what science tries to do. And there are plenty of theories about how such things could come about. I know of several. But of course, there's just hypotheticals, like you're saying, wild speculation in some sense. But speculation is a good thing. Right, like metaphysical speculation, right, is what a lot of theists do to try and implicate and give properties to this hypothetical God that they're making up, right? So if you're going to condemn all speculation in this way, then you're condemning yourself by the very words. There we go.
KariAnne is going to catch some Z's. Thanks for stopping by, KariAnne. And don't forget, KariAnne's new channel is linked in the description below.
They believe this. No God's required. They absolutely believe it, and yet they can base this on zero observation. No atheist saw it happen this way, but they believe it did happen this way. So they believe...
Observation does not mean seeing. Okay, that's it. Simple as it doesn't mean seeing. There are many ways to observe things. We don't necessarily have to do it with our eyes.
1 second, deconverted man wanted a link.
Oh, also,
there you go, deconverted man.
Brian,
go ahead, Simos.
Also, Ryan Cultistic received a membership as well from Jedi there. I notice.
Yeah, that one showed up. The other names didn't show up. I could see. It was happening on a couple channels lately, so it must be a little glitch going on. But it says 5 memberships, so you'll know if you got one because you got a little star by your name. And I see a lot of members here in the chat. And don't forget, drop a lot of emojis.
Yes, Opie, I agree.
Well, we don't get highbrow stuff here, Opie. Sorry.
Yeah, true. I can vouch for that.
In something that they did not see and they cannot see. All they know is that their creation is here. That's all they know. How it happened, they didn't see. So an atheist believes in things that he did not see and cannot see.
Yeah. God much, anybody? Yeah.
Hello, deconverted man.
Yeah, what's up? Now, this guy keeps telling me all the things. I didn't know I believed any of this stuff. You know, it's great. I love when people tell me what I think and feel. It's great. I love it. Yeah. Tell me more about myself. But see,
I search high and low for these, deconverted man, just for you.
I love it. Yeah, but see, he's talking out of his side. He doesn't know that I wasn't there. I made a time machine. I went back. I was there. I saw it. You can't say I didn't see it. I did. Prove wrong.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful, deconverted man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's just borrowing from my time machine worldview. Why not?
There we go.
I saw it. Now what? Yeah. But you didn't see it either. So, 2Q Quay, I guess? Well, God saw it. Well, okay. Well, right, sure. But God didn't write anything. Told other people to write it, supposedly. So, you know. Weird. I don't know.
That's what we have Mike here for, because Mike was there and he saw it and he said before that this is all a bunch of baloney. So.
Yeah, Mike was there. He's old. He remembers when dirt was invented.
I do.
And of course, Mike's going to outlive us all, so we shouldn't give him too hard a time. He's going to dance on our graves.
Well, we know that Mike's immortal. We know that. I mean,
oh yeah. Not immortal. I'm pickled by,
well,
substance abuse.
Pickled Mike. I'm Pickled Mike.
Pickled.
Robin, I haven't seen trees here. I saw trees this morning on Bree's show. And last night too. Yeah, last night too. He was on with Apostate Sisters. Those two are a lot of fun. Let me tell you. If you want some laughs, stop by the Apostate Sisters. Those two pretty funny.
Also, what I love about this is not just the construct straw man, but even if it was true, which none of it is, okay, and that doesn't prove anything that you're saying. So what's your point? Like, just saying, like, all right. But yeah, sure.
Oh, he's messing with Nerdy. Okay.
Spit away? What? Oh, okay.
He didn't see the creation of the universe.
Those are emojis, deconverted, man. They don't show up in here. Yeah. Spirit Away is my new emoji. It's a spray bottle to spray away spirits, gods, whatever's bothering you. We've got a Spirit Away spray bottle now.
So his position is based on blind faith in something that he did not see take place. Yet he has a position on how it took place in his mind, and he still believes it anyways. So when the atheist points his finger and says, "You believe in everything you cannot see," so does the atheist.
Oh, dear.
No. And hello, B.S. Lewis. Good to see you.
Oh, good old 2Q Quay. You as well. Oh, yeah. We both have faith. See? We're just as bad. Yeah.
That's the Ken Ham approach. He just turns it all around. I'm rubber, you're glue, right? And you have a religion too. You have a faith too. You just believe too. Yeah.
I got proof right here that I actually saw the universe begin. So I've got the photo that was taken. So yeah, check it out.
I mean, as much as he wishes to say that we have faith, etc., at least we have one less presupposition than he does. So. And I think it's a virtue to have as few presuppositions as you can get away with. I think that's a good thing.
Now, I was more muscular back then, and my head was slightly different shaped, I guess. But totally me looking at the universe coming into existence.
Where's Mike? Mike got cut out of the picture. Or?
He's the glowing part. He's the the central thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the atheist cannot say, "Well, the creation is here, isn't it?" Because a Christian can say the same thing. Well, God must exist. After all, the creation is here, isn't it? So that's not an argument either for the atheist. That's a fallacy. Both sides can use this.
What's a fallacy? What?
That's why we don't use that side. We say we don't have that presupposition. That's one less faith-based position that we're holding, and therefore it's philosophically more virtuous.
What was the thing that's a fallacy? Both of us saying the same thing? What? Huh?
Basically, us saying we're here, right? So obviously, it got here somehow.
Well,
he says no. That proves God.
Well, we are here. That's not a fallacy. And then, like, something somehow got us here. That's not a fallacy. Us both saying that at the same time is not. None of those things are logical fallacies. Yeah. I think he's just saying the word fallacy. I don't think he knows what that word is.
I think he just said it's a rub. Word. It's a rub.
You know why?
If your position's bad, then if you think my position is bad, then your position is just as bad. That's the fallacy, the two croquet that you pointed out. That's what he's banging on about. Fallacy. But of course, we do not think that. We do not think that we have the same presuppositions. That's not.
Jedi spells it like I do. I often tell people I don't have fallacy issues.
It's not the fallacy, it's how you use it.
They like the word fallacy because it starts with phallus. So
you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, Bodie Hodge, who's the son-in-law of Ken Ham, he ends almost every sentence when he's critiquing an article or giving one of his speeches with, "That's a fallacy, that's a fallacy, that's a fallacy." And yeah, I don't think he has any idea what a fallacy is either.
Yeah, a little bugbear of mine is, I mean, I do it from time to time, especially with people that are just ignorant of these things. But, you know, if you can accuse somebody of a fallacy, you have to explain where they're making the fallacy, what fallacy they're in fact making. I think that should be beholden on you.
Yeah,
If you can't be bothered because they make so many, then fair enough, just point them out. David Wood, for instance, just is a chronicle fallacy maker. And if you were to point out everything he said that was a fallacy, you'd just be sitting there correcting him every 5 seconds. So,
Isn't that the hammer? Isn't that the hammer guy?
yeah,
that sounds like a.
guy, yeah.
I need to look at one of his videos.
Hammer time. Do.
Yeah, it's terrible. They're terrible. They really are.
Yeah, Simon, send me one of his videos. I'm up to the challenge of pointing out every fallacy he makes. Or Falla Ocean is more
just look them up. Just look them up. Well, when he's talking with other Christians, he's especially bad because he likes to pretend that he is the man, you know?
What was the name again?
We've got John Murphy joining us. We have Zerovac joining us. And we have Greg joining us. Hello, everybody. We got all the best folks here.
Atheist has nothing to offer the Christian to prove his position.
I don't have a position. I left a comment on a similar video the other day that I've taken the position that you have failed to convince me. That's all I have to say. Right? It's your fault. I mean, you're pointing at me that I haven't convinced myself, and it's like, because your arguments haven't convinced me, right? I mean, I know what it was. It's that debate bro guy, Deconverted Man, was talking about the other day. The guy that was challenging everybody to a debate. That was the one. I left a comment there that you have failed to convince me, and that includes your peers, your pastors, your texts, and if you want to, you can include your God, have failed to convince me. So I don't know what I'm supposed to say or what my worldview is supposed to be or any of those things. It's just you have failed to convince me, right?
Yeah, and the thing that people call God has failed to reveal itself to all of us in a way that we, would understand it and comprehend it and not make mistakes about it. And not just us in chat, but, the entire world. That would be a good thing. The way God chooses to reveal itself seems to be the way that God reveals itself to every single other bit of, humanity, in that it's a person or a group of people saying God is X, Y, and Z, and that's it. Just, oh yeah, that's what God is. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if there's a God, it's utterly silent on the issue, and that speaks volumes.
So for a person like myself who has never believed, it becomes very clear that I have been given no reason to believe in the God spook. The man, bear, pig God, the one that does things and creates things. I just seen no evidence in my entire life of such a thing. Please give me some evidence for the thing. Somehow, show it to me. Somewhere, somehow.
We do have Answers in Atheism on toast. I just dropped it in the chat there.
We do. That's good.
I mean, you can't ask for better evidence. And what other channel has an emoji with Answers in Atheism on toast, right? I mean, back to MC Hammer. Can't touch this.
We needed this. Right? So he said nothing. Hold on. We needed this, though. I thought, yeah, well, whatever.
I'm not proud, so I put my link in the chat.
the box? Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
If you know, you know.
Mike's dropping his link. Make sure you subscribe to Answers in Atheism. And don't forget to drop down in the description. Links are down in the description for everybody that's here joining us, as well as my Grassman channel. Joe at the Kentucky Atheist, who's handling the ARC protest. Information for there. He also has merch and an affiliate that's in the description. KariAnne's in the description. And we'll drop Deconverted Man in the description when we get a chance. Yeah, check everybody out. And while you're down there, like, subscribe, share, drop a comment, do all those kind of good things. And we also have memberships. So if you want to join, you can join the channel. And hello,
you know what's sad?
Hello, Ed from the Rabid Atheist. And we also have Vesta joining us as well. We have all the best folks here. Good to see you.
Do you know what's sad? I made a sign the other day and went out on the entrance ramp for I-35 and held the sign up. Please subscribe to Answers in Atheism.
Can't hurt.
No, it can't hurt. No.
Nothing but faith. All the atheist can say is, well, I believe this is the way it happened, and then tell you his side. That's all the atheist can say. He can't show you a video of the creation.
What? What the fuck?
Oh, we need a video camera for that, you idiot.
Yeah.
Is that all it takes is a video of creation?
Creation.
Wow.
I mean, that would be
Deconverted Man needs his
something.
time machine.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a video, that would be interesting, but just not being able to see the event at hand doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of other methodology you could use to try to deduce what's going on. Empirical evidence is great, but repeatable tests also works, and we've got that for much of cosmology, if not all of it at this point. A lot of it's mathematics, though, which is over this guy's head. But in terms of saying, what or how universe came to be or life or anything else, like, I don't know. And what's, what does me not knowing have to do with your burden of proof? Or even if we did know, if it's not your God, you're not going to accept that answer anyways. So what's your point,
Yeah, and who created the video camera? Or was it an uncaused video camera, right?
It's a necessary existence.
Necessary video camera.
Also, I just point out, like, we've only had HD in the last, 20 years or so. So, I mean, if you go back to the beginning of the universe, the chances are it was very low quality. I'm not even sure you'd be able to recognize, pixels. Even if you did see a video of it.
Yeah, they only had 4 pixels back then.
Well, probably 1 pixel.
Well, we could get rid of a lot of string and text if we just had people with video cameras 14 billion years ago, and this could all be resolved.
Yes.
I mean, whose fault is that?
We can watch God do it, and we can watch that little boat float around on the tsunami. That's what we want to see.
I think James did it. That's why he dropped out.
Yeah, and to be fair, if Jesus didn't have a lot to do back at the beginning of the universe, so he could have fucking taken a video of it, or at least a picture on his phone.
Yeah, or did the Fred Flintstone thing, and chiseled out the picture, with the tablets,
But he didn't.
Something.
But imagine the embarrassment of taking the trouble to go all the way back in time with a camera and aiming it in the wrong direction. You missed it. You missed the beginning. Yeah. It was over that way. You were aiming the wrong. Oh man, you'll never live that down.
There you go.
Creating itself from nothing for no reason at all. Nobody filmed it. Nobody was there. Nobody saw it. Nobody can. Nobody did. Nobody.
Okay, we'll agree that nobody videotaped it.
Or anybody was there.
Including God.
We can agree with that.
Nobody was there.
Nobody. Does that include God? Wait, whoa.
Yeah, that means the guy that wrote Genesis was lying there because he didn't see
Oh,
it.
that might be you, Mike.
Deconverted man's wigging out.
Oh, is it?
Was that me?
I think so.
No, I don't think it's me.
Yeah, not you?
No.
Is it me?
Mike?
Is it me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's you, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you switch to your wireless things again?
No, I have to get out and get back in. I'll be back.
All right.
I told him not to push that button.
Don't push that button.
Don't look, when I tell you not to look up stuff.
Hey, Phantom, good to see you.
Good to see you.
We ever will. Yeah, you believe.
Everybody have a good laugh. Oh. Okay.
Dear. Good times. Good times.
Ha.
Are you there, Mike?
How's it now?
It's fine.
Oh,
Fine now.
You missed it. He laughed.
you're coming through like Pavarotti.
Good.
He's gonna laugh.
Hey, you got to catch up on the fake laughter, Mike.
He's gonna laugh he'll laugh again. Don't worry.
Okay.
And Tilting Windmills here, and wishing a hello and a happy Saturday afternoon to all. Hello, Tilting Windmill.
Anyways, he never saw it with his own eyes. And the atheist will call the Christian irrational and say, "Oh well, we believe in science, but you God believers, you're just totally irrational. Religious as nuts. You need to come down to earth, wake up to reality, and join us in the realm of science. We believe in science." Okay, let's see which conclusion is science.
All right, now here we go. This is what we need. He's going to
really
give us some
people
science.
that are this dumb are the real people this dumb.
Mike, 42% of the United States population thinks man lived with dinosaurs.
Jesus Christ, we're in trouble.
Can we just take a bet on whether he goes for, theoretical science, right, like beginning of the universe, or whether he goes for actual science, like evolution? What do you think?
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Obi here. I believe in Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go with evolution
She blinded me with it.
I think he'll go for both because he has no idea of the difference.
He doesn't know what it is, probably.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not here to prove God exists. And
Oh.
What? Oh, I'm out. Oh man.
Yes.
No.
Why are we listening?
Once again, our hopes are dashed.
I'm not here to prove anything. Well, I mean, but that's my job. I'm the skeptic. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to disprove everything. Oh, man. Get out of here. Oh,
yeah, Ed knows.
So wait, if he's not here to prove anything, then everything he said isn't proof of anything. So he has said nothing that proves anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we win then. All right. Good night, everybody.
Basically, he's giving arguments from nothing.
Oh, there you go. Back at you, buddy.
And the atheist cannot prove his side either. What I'm about to discuss is what
I don't know what side I'm supposed to prove. If you're talking about science, I don't have to do that. I'm not a scientist. So I don't have to do anything.
Prove that unicorns don't exist.
I mean, I have a side because I'm a three-dimensional being. Is that what you're asking for?
Sometimes my side itches. Is that a sign?
I hate that.
I saw the side. Wait, no, I saw the sign. I don't know.
If you come round here, I'll prove that I'll prove I exist with a 2x4.
Yeah,
now that proves the 2x4 existed.
Tilting Windmill. Okay, I updated emojis because somebody said they were too bright when you have the dark screen. So I tried taking out some of the backgrounds and putting some color behind the other ones. So if you're on a dark screen, or if you're still on a white screen, whichever way you go, let me know how they look, if it looks different than before, if you remember them from before. I appreciate it. If you liked it the other way, I'll switch it back. But apparently with the dark screen, it looked goofy because it was white. And when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So I switched it to dark screen, etc.
The only thing missing are the dinosaur tracks going across them.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, okay? The more members we get, the more emojis we get. So,
as you know, the dinosaurs were eaten by Bigfoot.
Yeah, we can get more emojis, like, you know, some dinosaur tracks all across it and other things like that with more membership. So make sure you hit the join button. More members, more emojis. That's how it works.
Conclusion is logical, based on real science.
What
conclusion? Wait, you didn't even say what conclusion.
When did he do?
I missed it too.
Real science. Did he do real science?
What does real science even mean, Mike?
Real science. ... I'm not here to prove anything. Real science. The conclusion. Wait, what? Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know what real science means.
My brain hurts. He's making atheism now I am stupid after listening to that. What? I don't understand anything.
Minnow says they look nice on the dark gray background. Okay, appreciate it.
Since the atheists say Christians don't base their belief in an intelligent creator based on science, so let's see if this is true, which, by the way, it's not. It's completely false. My belief in an intelligent designer of the universe, a conscious, intelligent, creative mind, is based on science, not void of it.
Okay, well, you promised science twice now.
But he said he wasn't going to prove anything.
Yeah, I'm going to doubt that, by the way, what he just said about science being able to prove God. There are certainly many theologians that say exactly the opposite. The two can never intersect. However, given that you may be one of these intellectual theists, I mean, I don't know why even that word came out of my mouth, but even if you were one of these intellectual theists, I still think you might say that the claims of theism, and especially Christianity, such things as the resurrection of the dead and walking on water and many of the other miracles are not scientifically provable. In which case, you don't understand what science is when you say science proves Christianity.
And Ryan's in the spirit dropping Spock emojis. Live long and prosper.
What the atheist believes is not based on science, not the Christian.
Not necessarily. Once again, you can have a convincing argument that's not scientific, right, Simons?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's reason. It could just be reasonable to believe in a deductive argument. If you think of both the premises are true, and of course the conclusion necessarily follows as long as the form is valid.
Deconverted man, do you concur?
Yeah, yes, and as long as it's free of fallacies, then it's sound.
Okay, Mike?
I wasn't paying attention.
That's all right, Mike. It probably wasn't worth it.
No, I forget what he... I was going to say oxymoron, and I forgot what the word was.
Dave just said there can be reasons to believe things that aren't scientific. Yeah, we would agree with that.
Sure.
Oh, Mike's got all kind of company over in his chat. I think you can occupy yourself over there with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep tabs.
Now let's go over this. True science is observation.
It's part of the scientific method, and it's also part of forming a hypothesis.
And by observation, we don't mean see. There are many ways to observe things, not just see.
And as we know, just because you see something doesn't mean your eyes weren't deceived as well. Go ahead, Mike.
And a scientist in a lab uses direct observation probably less than 1% of the time. Basically, they use instruments. And of course, you have to observe the output of the instruments, but that is just bullshit. This observation stuff is so stupid. I wish they'd just knock it off. God.
That's a good word, isn't it, Phantom? Concur?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good word.
And of course, like just
and
to
hello,
say that,
native.
Just to say that, when scientists do, observations, inverted commas, in a laboratory, those are under very controlled conditions, which usually allow for only one variable, which is an extremely rigorous way to test a hypothesis, right? If you do observations in nature, that's something slightly different. Maybe you can't control all the variables. It doesn't mean you can't do scientific work, right? So it's just because lab work is particularly rigorous, it doesn't mean that that's the only form of science you can do.
You observe the readout, excuse me, on an instrument. That's what you observe. Okay, you don't directly observe what a molecule is, or basically what the makeup of a molecule is. You're always going at it from inference, and inference is how we determine what happened in the past. The same thing. Use the same damn method.
I don't think I've ever heard, or maybe I have forgotten, somebody doing a no true Scotsman on the scientific method. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's got to be maybe it's not a new one. Feel like it's a new one. Yeah. It's a no true science. Yeah. The true science is this. Oh, okay. Yeah. No true Scotsman science. Got it. Yeah.
True science is over 90% inference, basically.
Which is quite like the point you just made there, deconverted man, no true Scotsman fallacy, which is fine, but also it just to point out that the Enlightenment and the scientific project itself was hugely influenced by the Scots. Many Scottish people invented some seriously good in scientific instruments, as well as came up with very special theories such as.
That's why I'm so brilliant.
There you go. And Dave, and they came up with Dave, of course.
They came up with me. That's right. I'm gonna
fantastic.
I'm gonna use the Trump argument and say, well, I have relatives that were very, very smart, so that means I am, because I have blood in Scotland. My grandfather was a immigrant. So there you go. I'm smart because I'm Scottish. So there. I don't hear no more arguments anymore. Although I'm being told I'm stupid, so I don't know. Stupid, smart, whatever. It's somewhere out there.
Oh, can I mention a few? Okay. Penicillin, telephone, television, flushing toilet, steam engine, bikes, hypothermic syringe, MRI machines. I won't bother going on.
There we go. See how awesome we are? You shall be bowing down to me.
The ATM. Kaleidoscopes, color photography.
Awesome.
Fingerprinting. Vacuum flask, pneumatic tires. Tidal turbines, light bulb. Oh, man, it just goes on and on.
Ember says the word scientist was created by describe a Scottish lady.
Damn.
Wow, I did not know that.
We're learning all kind of stuff. See how awesome us Scottish people are? I'm trying to tell you. Gee.
And of course, David Hume. I think David Hume was Scottish as well.
Observing something that we can see with our own eyes. We can observe it. We see it repeating all the time, which proves itself. It's predictable. This is real science, atheist. We observe.
Yes and no. I'll give it to you. I mean, test and experiment, but observation, like we're trying to repeat a million times over, is part of. I think Jim Boob was stuck on that too, wasn't he? That you can't see this or that, and it's like, well, no.
I would like to know what science we can perform on this thing that he's calling God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Also, how many times has God repeated creating the universe that he can test that? None. I mean, you know.
Well, and that's the fine-tuning argument. What are you tuning it against? You don't have a standard to tune against.
Yeah, let us have Jesus again, so we can test him in the lab and kill him a few times, see him come back to life in the
in
controlled environment. You know,
in Minecraft.
Yeah. How many resurrections has God done recently?
Yeah, you know, well, I see that goes into my personal theory that God's running out of power. Like he started with a lot of power, used it up to make the universe. You know, used a bunch making Jesus come back. Now he's kind of like really low on power. That's why we don't see him anymore.
The claims of miracles are proportionate with the invention of modern recording equipment, Simons.
There you go. But that is actually a current theory that's been going around recently, which is God is not omnipotent. In fact, he's limited in power, and that explains all of the shit that goes on in this world.
Proving my argument that God is a nitwit once again.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's why God had to reuse the same proteins over and over again for different animals, because he lacked resources. So God is not omnipotent.
Explains everything.
It does.
Yeah.
Hey,
every day.
Oh, sorry, Captive Desk. We need a Jim Blob icon.
I've got a poop emoji. I think it comes preloaded in the emojis down there. Same thing.
Yeah, that works.
Intelligence only comes from intelligence. Not a single observation done by a man on this planet has ever witnessed an intelligence coming from a non-intelligent source.
There you go. Well,
yeah. Well, it depends what you mean by that.
Yeah. What's the intelligence? There we go. We got poop emojis. There you go, Jim Boop.
Citation fucking needed for that one.
But even if the case, like, so what? And then let's just say that we did that. Then he's gonna just switch it and say, well, but because this is what Matt Slick did way back in the day, where he would whiffle waffle on evolution and be like, well, you know, okay, you're saying that it took an intelligence to do it or whatever. Same sort of thing here, where it's like if you did the thing, because they said, you know, we never created artificial life in the lab, and they created artificial life in the lab. Well, they didn't do it from scratch, you know, so they're always going to move the goalpost. Yeah, that's just all I got. All right, guys, thanks for letting me pop in. I'm done now. Take care.
All right, Deconverted Man.
Peace out, everyone. Meow. Atheism is very smart.
Not a single observation. It's not observable, cannot be repeated because you cannot observe it in the first place. Not predictable. It fails the true scientific methods. Every one of them.
Beautiful.
What is it that fails? Atheism? Or not taking a video of the Big Bang? I don't remember what. He's hard to follow.
Yeah,
I don't have a video. Yeah,
can't be bothered to do it. To be fair,
that's where my kids are. Penny Arcade in Boston.
Oh boy!
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. There's people look like ants there. It's amazing game expo. So, yep.
So the Christian view that an intelligent designer created us, intelligent beings, is based on actual science.
What?
This is what, the third time he's promised us science for God, but he's not going to prove God, right?
It's based on actual science.
I'm trying to keep count. I think it's 3 times.
Yeah.
Observation, repeatability, predictability, because we only see intelligence creating intelligence. An intelligent woman gets pregnant, gives birth to an intelligent being.
Well, that didn't happen in your case. Bada bing.
Well, yeah. Failed there.
Look how intelligent I am.
It grows up and does the same thing, and the chain continues on. That's all we ever observe. Okay. So my side as a Christian is based on the evidence, on science, what we observe. The atheist is not. No one has ever observed intelligence coming from anything else other than intelligence. So it's the atheist believing that a non-intelligent process started everything and created intelligent life.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that other than,
No.
It's like, no, that's not what it is. It's,
I don't know.
It's interesting though. I mean, obviously, he's trying to conflate all atheists with all scientists, even scientists that weren't correct about things.
When I was 17 and my girlfriend got pregnant, her parents did not accuse us of being intelligent. That isn't what they said, as I remember. Yeah. There was no intelligence there. Yeah.
Science doesn't back up their conclusion that no gods are needed and no God created.
Yeah, pretty much science doesn't care about God.
That conclusion is not based on science.
So if you get an acorn and it hatches an oak tree, that acorn is intelligent? Is that what he's saying?
It's just it's just an absence of. It's okay.
Next, life.
Next, what?
What do you mean next?
We're supposed to get the scientific evidence,
right?
His scientific evidence is dogs always make dogs. I'm getting a hankering for a Hawaiian shirt.
Acorns make oak trees. That's it. Intelligent acorns make oak trees.
Are acorns intelligent?
They must be. They make oak trees. They're pretty smart looking.
Smart little nut.
Smart little nut. Yeah.
Ed's already out of string. I get that a lot, Ed. Run right out of string. Try to get this all connected here, and you run out of string and tacks real quick, don't you? I feel you, really.
Itself. Well, what do we observe? Living beings have only come from another living being. We have never seen a fully functioning living kind of anything, a dog or a frog or a bird or a cat, a chicken, a rooster, a cow, a horse, or a human being, a snake, a fish,
hippo,
any fully functioning, formed, living thing. Scientists have never, ever, 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 ever observed as coming forth from dead matter by itself, by no one and for no freaking reason at all.
Yeah, just stop there. We've never observed anything coming from itself.
No.
Okay, so just to point that out, I don't know if you guys can think of something out there where people say, no, there's nothing before this. This has always been there. Just coming from itself, never. So.
Except for toasters.
Except for toasters, and possibly, what were the crabs, were they?
Crabs with opposable thumbs.
Crabs with opposable thumbs. Those may be the only two exceptions that I can possibly think anybody's spoken of, but
And lobsters.
nonetheless,
We can't forget
just-
lobsters.
that's to say, you've never witnessed it. That can't happen.
Obi Atheist. Obi Atheist. It's a new one.
How many animals can you name that start with E? Are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Are we going to go? I always my boys are big A and little A, so I always do the first one. Big A, little A. What begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator. A.
Not a single scientist has ever seen this happen. So the scientific method, once again, observable, repeatable, predictable, every scientific method.
Ember is here and has something very intelligent to say.
There you go, Scott.
Yeah.
Lots of people come from themselves, but you got to pay to observe.
I'm going to go get my toaster. Perhaps he's got something intelligent to say.
You know, and I had a club sandwich earlier, and my toast was overdone. And
Wow.
I had it set on medium, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. If it's overdone on medium, what does it do to it if you crank it up any higher than that?
Yeah, perhaps you get a universe if you crank it to the top.
Yeah.
But for a moment, I thought, I think my toaster's angry at me. It overdid my toast.
You're making me hungry.
Proves life only comes from life. We have only seen a fully formed living thing of any kind, species, regardless what that species is, coming from another kind, the same species, that was pre-existing and living already, which spawned the next one, and it spawns the next one, and their lifespan continues. All creatures up to man, that's all we see. This life giving birth to that life, this life giving birth to that life. Nobody has ever seen a fully functioning species of any kind come forth from a chunk of dead matter.
Except in the
And
Bible.
nobody's ever seen a mountain form either. So what?
Well, except in the Bible. I mean, we're made from the dust of the ground. Yeah. Ember, good point. My toaster's not finely tuned. And
Wow.
Softer breads require less time to toast. And
Really?
but see, I let myself down because I'm supposed to be manifested with my toaster. So it's my fault, I guess. I let my toaster down, and obviously it's mad at me.
For no reason at all, period. Not a single scientist or atheist has ever seen this. Therefore, the belief the Christian holds that a living, intelligent being created living, intelligent beings is backed up by the scientific method. It's based on science, atheists, not void of it. It's based on it.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, it has a dial on it, Greg. Yeah. Halfway was too much. I never get it right, no matter what I set it on. If I turn it down too much, it doesn't toast enough. I don't know. It's mad at me. It is. I haven't spent enough time with my toaster. I must confess. So.
There we go.
So, when the Christian comes to his conclusion that a living, intelligent being created, that conclusion, again, we're not here trying to prove God to atheists, nor can atheists prove their side. We're simply, once again, so nobody gets this video wrong.
I haven't gotten anything from it at all, but
Well, he's just admitted that he's not a theist; he's an agnostic. So well done, you sir. That's fine. And yeah, so say all of us.
I'm simply going over what our conclusion is based on.
Okay.
Actual science or no? So
He's
when
never
I
seen
conclude,
Yeah. And well, and this is something that's brought up a lot. Hawaiian shirt guy does it. He says, I've never seen a species give birth to a different species. A dog is always a dog, a cat's always a cat. But we know dogs and cats have a common ancestor that was neither a dog or a cat. So at one point, it wasn't a dog or a cat. And now you have dogs and cats. But there was no point where a dog gave birth to a cat or vice versa.
But did they see God create a cat and a dog? Yeah. Did they see that? Did they observe that? Like, what? I don't know what they mean by this observe stuff. Did they observe this creation of the universe? No. Did they ever observe God? No. It's all inference, right?
And even Jesus' stories are iffy, and that's, a little more recent.
Right. You ever observe anybody rising out of the tomb after 3 days dead? Nope. In the hot desert? Nope.
And if anybody's going to do it, it's the Pope, right? And we just lost the Pope, and
right. Yeah, he should come on.
I did want to mention we do have a new Pope. Seems Pope Leo is going to continue with a progressive platform.
He's a woke Pope.
He's all woke and everything, so he must be doing something right. He also was kind of a right-hand man to Francis, so you might expect a similar continuance, as well as a call for the priests to do their job and not drive around in fancy cars. So we'll see.
And I realized this week that for the first time ever, I'm older than the Pope.
Older than the Pope.
Wow.
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. The Pope is 69. So.
Yeah, I'm older than the Pope. I gotta take a nap, man.
And his brother's been quite busy too. Everybody's been interviewing the Pope's brother. That
oh, really?
I think he's still in Chicago or somewhere around there.
Does he have like a Jimmy Carter brother? One that's really fun.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. He seemed, kind of a surreal thing. You know what I mean? And and they're asking him how he feels, and not everybody can say that my brother is the Pope, and he's like, yeah, not everybody could say that. So yeah, anytime somebody's talking about something, you can just say, oh yeah, well, my brother's the Pope.
And in my view, an intelligent living being created intelligent life. That conclusion is based on science, observation, predictability, repeatability, what we see happening every day, and nothing has ever happened to the contrary. So my conclusion is based on the observable evidence, actual science. The atheist is not. Nobody has ever seen life create itself. With no help at all, by no one, for no one, and for no reason at all. Boom, it just happened.
And when he's saying that too, you notice that he's leaving out that if a scientist created life in the lab, he's just going to discount it anyways, right? Because he's going to say that someone or something had to be involved.
Intelligent did it, right? Yeah.
Right. And I've heard this before, that they'll ask for science of this, and this. And then when you say, well, they're pretty close to it, tomorrow they might, produce a cell in the lab or something. Well, then it'll just mean that the scientist had to do it. It's like, oh, well, then just stop asking, right? Hello, Tori. How you doing? And we are DNA. If I didn't say hello, hello. And you got James Fraser over there trying to make sure we're good with God. And Native, it's got a 69, always a good number. Yeah, and of course, not a fan of religion, but if the Pope irritates Trump and is fairly progressive, as a Catholic Pope can be, then we'll take what we can get, right?
An entire species from dead matter. Poof! Here it is. It just came out of freaking nowhere. A new species. We don't know how it got here. It just crawled out of this chunk of dead matter for no reason at all. It's fully alive and functioning. Here it is. Nope. No observation of anything happening. That's stupid.
That's what it says in the Bible. That's what it says in the Bible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and don't forget, you have to have super hyper speciation after Noah's flood, too.
Right.
Because you have to get from, I don't know, was Ken Ham 1,400 or whatever goofy number of pairs he has to get up to millions of species real quick. So they do believe in, and well, he's going to point out that he does accept evolution. He's just going to pick apart macroevolution.
An atheist called Christian silly. That they believe life just crawled from dead.
Oh, this guy is fucking scary.
I knew you would appreciate that.
the first lick of the flames, and I'll regret I didn't what. I like being licked. I had a guy telling me that.
Sounds kinky.
Something about the flames licking.
Yeah,
me.
no, they were a good band, the Flames.
Yeah, I kind of like being licked by flames. I don't know. I like a little lick. I like a little licking. Yeah.
Matter for no reason at all. By no one, for no one, for no reason. It just happened. Against all observations stating to the contrary. Believing once again in something they cannot see and never did see and never will see, and something that is not based on science at all. Never been observed, can't be repeated, not predicted, nothing. No scientific method.
No, that's right. Atheism is not a position. As Savage said earlier, it's
his
the
little
lack of
kids in it.
Hello, Katie. How you doing?
His wife and his little kids are probably in the next room cowering, listening to him cackle. Like, what is going on with Dad?
And don't forget, Mary just got pregnant. I don't know how. Right. Just kind of happens, Yeah,
it just kind of happened.
It kind of happens.
Wouldn't want to
backs this up. This isn't science. The atheist view is not based on science.
Nobody said it had to be.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. Atheism is not a position that we take because of science. It's a position we take because there's no evidence for God.
Yep.
Or the supernatural.
No observable evidence for God.
Yep.
Next, we go to consciousness. We have only seen consciousness come from consciousness.
Oh, does it really?
How do you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
It is.
Has anybody seen a baby born from an unconscious rock?
Nope.
Let me think about that for a moment.
Well, Adam, right? According to their story, Adam.
Rocks are giving birth now, dirt. Folks. Yeah. You heard it here Saturday night at the Atheists. Rocks are giving birth. So mark that down. Hawaiian shirt guy probably interested in that.
So when Adam was created, do you think it looked like a dust devil? Like a dust devil come up and just started whirling around and push Adam?
Hey, we got tons of mice. Did you sneak a microphone into the hospital? Did you check the thumb? So. Did you check the thumbnail for the video? I tried to put the vibe there that somebody smeared the writing on the wall, if you catch my drift. So that was the theme of the thumbnail. My son got it. I said, what do you think of this thumbnail? And he says, it looks like somebody was in the hospital. And I was like, thank you. Okay.
From an unconscious 2x4 laying on the ground.
A 2x4?
A 2x4. Very nice.
Oh, we covered that guy. Mike, were you guys, Scott, were you guys on with me when we covered the 2x4 guy? He held up a 2x4 and he said he's been waiting for like a year and it hasn't evolved into anything yet.
Yeah, who was that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been gone that night, but it sounds
That's a pretty
hilarious.
sad story. That's a sad story.
Well, he put out a video that he had this 2x4 and he was going to let it sit and see what happens. And then he put out another video like a year later or whatever, and he was checking on the 2x4, and it hadn't evolved into anything yet. And he wanted to know why.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm doing the same experiment with my toaster, but yeah, you know.
Well, we have undisputable evidence. Indisputable evidence. Is it undisputable or indisputable? Anyway, indisputable. Okay, we have indisputable evidence though given to us from Wayne that the only reason that you haven't manifested with your toaster is because you're slow. So, again, it's my fault. I'm slow. If you haven't manifested with your toaster by your 50s, I think he said it was, you're slow. And so I may have already missed the boat on this one. It may be too late to manifest with my toaster.
A construction site. Has anybody ever seen a baby come forth from a freaking forklift?
Oh God, he's gonna get me to go through my videos again, isn't he?
That sounds like a great YouTube short. It could probably go viral.
Forklifts. Okay. Interesting choice. Forklifts. All right.
A pickup truck on the side of a mountain for no reason at all? No. A human baby that is conscious and self-aware has only come from another being that has been conscious and self-aware. Consciousness comes from consciousness. We've never seen anything to the contrary.
Dave, you got to clip out this guy's laugh track and just,
Just 5 minutes of this guy laughing on this.
Need to mix it up, do I?
Yeah, it's perfect. It is perfect.
He does it in like every video too, in case you're wondering if this is just a one-off. Oh no. This is his thing or whatever. Yeah.
To say that that dead matter can produce self-aware consciousness for no reason at all, and it's never been observed, is absurd. And the atheist once again calls the Christians irrational. We're the nutty ones, really?
Holy shit, he's really losing it.
As he's laughing, sometimes he sounds like the Joker too. He does the in there, And no, we don't sound like lunatics. You might, you might want to, rewatch your video. I will say it can be contagious, and I do appreciate the contagious laughter. That's always, I'll take that, but I think you're trying a little bit too hard to laugh.
Have you seen this, atheist? Tell me in the comments. I want the year, the date, the day, and the hour this was observed. I want to know the scientist who observed it. I want his peer-reviewed work. Give me the website. Give me the scientist's phone number.
Okay, will do. And I looked, and there's not a lot of comments on his videos. So either he deleted most of them, or people just weren't commenting. So
I want to know when it was observed that consciousness came from something that was dead and not conscious, not living at all, just dead.
Well, how are dead things conscious?
Yeah, I don't.
We got Deviant Outcast here. Hello, Deviant. Self-aware conscious beings obviously produce unaware conscious beings all the time. Case in point, the loudmouth in the video. Well, of course, you know, something dead is not conscious. Okay, you got us. You got us on that one. We have to throw in the towel. Dead things are not conscious unless you talk to Wayne. Now, maybe we ought to hook him up with Wayne, because Wayne would disagree, because he says your toaster is conscious.
Yeah.
He says a rock and everything are conscious. So there's a conflict here in the between Ward D and Ward E.
Matter, and suddenly, poof, something became conscious. Nothing has ever been observed.
There you go. Poof, it was just conscious. That sounds familiar.
Besides consciousness coming from consciousness. So my conclusion, once again, that
I like how he edited out the comment, yes, sir, but this is an Arby's.
a conscious, living, intelligent, all the things we just covered, being created conscious, intelligent, living beings. I could keep going down the list on every single thing. And on the Christian side, there's observation, repeatability, predictability, actual scientific methods, science.
I will point out one of the weakness of the creationists' arguments, I don't know about Christians, is that they can't produce predictions. They do not have testable predictions in their model, other than Jesus is going to come back, and they think that, I guess someday maybe if he comes back. But
wait. James Fraser, the last comment, where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched. What? What the hell?
That's hell.
Okay.
Yeah, he says you're going to hell. Or maybe
but the worm, wouldn't a worm die in hell? The worm dieth not.
I don't know. What did the worms do?
What do the worms do in hell? They dieth not? I didn't know that.
Are the worms sinning?
Well, no, the worms are eating all the dead things that are in the pit or whatever.
Oh.
But don't the worms like get roasted? Like roasted worms? You could eat them.
I didn't say it made sense. I said that's the imagery.
Yeah, I really don't know where the hell you're going with that, James.
They're made out of gopher wood. The worms are made out of gopher wood.
Dust return to earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Yeah, that's pretty cute.
Yeah. That's like saying everybody dies.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, these people.
And I'm only going to the afterlife if it's the one that Kat Kerr tells us about, because if it's not that one, forget it, because all the other ones just seem bloody awful. But the Kat Kerr heaven, sign me up for that one. Otherwise, no.
Supporting their conclusion. Now, can we prove our conclusion? No, you never will to an atheist. So again, I'm not here to prove God, because he'll...
Good, because you're doing a lousy job of it.
Doing a lousy job, man.
He'd have to come down to the ground and shake an atheist's hand before the atheist believes. And, and if that were to happen, the atheist still would not believe, because the atheists don't want to believe. It's not about evidence. It never has been. It's a hard...
Well, that's pretty much what it is, and we've all pretty much agreed that the evidence is weak, other than people like to believe in things. And I can understand that. I really can. I like investigating all kind of claims like cryptids and ghosts and all the things that go bump in the night. And you know what? People believe in a lot of things. It's not just God. We seem wired to just explore our imaginations. Yeah. And if you like something, then you just fit it into your so-called worldview, and it becomes part of your reality. That's.
Could you just share that picture for a moment there? I just got something for the side chat too. This is a notice. So please, when somebody says stuff like "we can prove that there's a God," keep calm.
Keep calm.
And metaphysically speculate. Thank you.
Whoops.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Like I didn't hit right in the square. There we go.
That's all right. You can do it that way. Okay. No, we're good. We're good. We're done.
Condition.
Back to
The
the show.
atheists love sin. They love to do as they please and not think that there's going to be any accountability, not accountable to nobody. That's what this is all about, not evidence. But anyways,
I don't even think sin exists.
Right.
So
I'm
I
not
don't
here-
know what you're saying. I love it. I don't. There are plenty of things I love, like fiction, you know. But
I think sin is
sin
donuts.
is not one of them.
Donuts are sin. That's the only thing I think of when they say you just want to sin. I think of donuts. I don't know why.
I always
They
think
seem
of the
simple.
god. I always think of the god, the fake god called sin, for which the word sin is derived from. Just to show
Well,
that
don't
it's
forget,
in fact.
if you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing. So.
Krispy Kreme donuts are sin. I'm not.
Everything's a sin. I mean, technically, because what is it? We're fallen or whatever. That we're all sinful, and so it doesn't really matter what you do. That you've got the sin nature. So you're out of luck. That's why you have to have Jesus, because even if you're supposedly sinless, you still need to have Jesus because of your nature of how you were made to sin. Once again, it's a no-win game. You were set up to sin, and then you're being judged because you sinned.
here to prove God, not here to prove anything in this video. This video is simply about whose conclusion is based on actual science. And again, we've gone over it, I'll repeat. The conclusion that a conscious, living, intelligent being created God, created God. Woo!
Oops, kind of screwed up there.
That was a slip up.
Yeah, it was a slip up. Well, some might call that a Freudian slip up. Ayo. And Top Tester's joining us. Geo Sam's joining us. John's here. Yeah, we've got the Celtic Coven. Usually your comments are a little nicer. Sandals is here. God's Integrity is here. James is here. James Fraser. And of course, the lovely Ember joining us. Good to see you, Ember, as always.
Blessed be.
Created.
Yeah, and we got. I thought B was blocked everywhere. How'd they sneak through?
Conscious, intelligent life? Well, that's based on evidence. My conclusion is based on science, atheists.
I doubt that.
Okay. Yeah.
Citation needed for that one.
And he's repeating himself here a little bit. So we're gonna bump up a little bit.
That's all he's been doing is repeating himself the whole thing and cackling. Cackle and repeat.
We got the point there.
Cackle and repeat.
we're going to bump this to, we're going to get a birds and bees lesson. Because who better to learn about the birds and the bees?
Oh my God.
Than from this
was
guy.
Was that part of his video? Or was that?
Yeah, I kind of blurred it a little bit. I don't think YouTube approves of that very much, but everybody knows it's one of those pictures of somebody cut in two. And anyway, shows all your organs, including your reproductive ones.
Who are terrified to look at the fact that they always like to say everything they're accusing.
Oh, come on.
Everything they're accusing the Christians of being, and more.
What do we do?
I don't know.
Well, remember, we're hypocrites. We're hypocrites.
But I do point out when their theories are bunk, such as creationism or intelligent design.
He's summing up what he started out with, that we're hypocrites and we're just doing the same things that the Christians are doing. Which means the Christians are hypocrites too. So I don't know what his point is. You know, and of course he doesn't have one unless it's under his hat. But no worries though, because I've got more videos from this guy and or this person.
Well, he's just talking and talking so until nobody notices him sneak out and not paying his bar tab. That's what he's doing.
I mean, he might be one of them lizard peoples or something. I don't know. So, but yeah, he has a lot of these unusual videos. And now we're going to learn about the birds and the bees from, what the heck was his name again? I keep forgetting his name. It's so unimportant to me. Oh, and it should be so important to me. It's the voice of truth. My bad. The voice of truth is going to teach us about the birds and the bees.
Atheists and evolutionists always like to say, just
we're getting the double whammy. Atheists and evolutionists.
Atheists. But I always get these comments, oh, you think atheism has to accept evolution? That's not true.
That's right. It's not true.
It's not true. Yeah.
Not true.
You
should pay more attention to the folks in your comments section. They seem to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Not all atheists are evolutionists. Well, okay, if you take out evolution, macroevolution, from the equation, that only leaves one thing left, atheists. God created.
What?
There you go.
Created.
Either have evolution or you have God created. That's your two choices.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go with science every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially something which has been attested to by multiple lines of scientific inquiry.
Unless you go by what the voice of truth says. We don't take them too seriously. We listen and we try to connect the dots, but usually it fails. So we've had our hopes up before. They've been dashed. So, you know, we try not to get them raised too high here at Saturday Night at the Atheists.
Very true.
Would have to have been made man from the very beginning and always been man, just like Genesis states. That's your only other option. So I laugh my head off when I see these comments. Oh, not all atheists are evolutionists. Atheist doesn't have to accept evolution. We just deny gods. Well, no, to be an atheist, you have to accept evolution because that is your only way, without God, only way that you get eventually to man.
And I would point out, you know, why is it that there is only the theory of evolution in biology? Why aren't there, all these multiple ideas? Seems to be because there's so much overwhelming evidence. The scientific community has concluded, yep, evolution happens. Now, doesn't mean they know everything about it. And they can disagree on mechanisms, but evolution is one of those, I'm not going to say unique, but it's one of those theories that has not only enough overwhelming evidence in the field, but it's got all kind of corroborating evidence from other fields, which just makes it that much stronger. So maybe there's a reason that you have evolution that's always being argued against, because it seems to be pretty much well understood, and the scientists aren't saying maybe it's this, or this, like they're doing with what happened before the Big Bang and some of the things that are more speculative.
Your only other option, and I repeat and underline the word only, your only other option is man was created man from the very beginning and always has been man and never anything else. And this is a...
That's it?
No. Just no. Whatever. This guy's going to keep doing that. I can't think of another way. Therefore, it must be one of these two ways. An argument from incredulity, if you want to put it that way. Or, as everybody's saying in the chat, false dichotomy certainly is. I mean, it's just, yeah, I despair. I do despair against people that think evolution is false, because, like, it's not like it's a new theory, number one. 1859, Darwin published. So we're well over 150 years. And there's never been a single observation in science or in nature that has ever contradicted the theory. I mean, that's huge, overwhelming evidence in itself. And then on top of that, there have been many predictions made by the theory of evolution, at least in the simplest form, genetic mutation with natural selection, that have actually been shown to be true. And then, as Dave said, we've dug up many intermediate fossils which have shown the links between all sorts of different creatures, between fish and land mammals, between birds and dinosaurs, between, there are many transitional fossils that have been dug up, thousands of the damn things, all right? And the process of fossilization in itself is very rare. So the fact we have so many attests to the observation that it's much more likely to be true than it is false. So just for those reasons alone, people shouldn't be doubting it. Maybe the actual mechanism in some of the finer details, of course, that's why scientists do what scientists do. But to say that it's false outright and that we have only two explanations is just crazy. It's just crazy.
And with that, let's take a quick break and run the ad for the Ark Encounter protest coming July 6th. And everybody mind your headphones, because this comes in strong, okay?
Speaking of fossil deniers.
Speaking of fossil deniers, yeah. And that's coming July 6th. The lineup is subject to change. There are some folks that will be in and out of the lineup, but the lineup, as far as I know, has only grown. So there should be a lot of great folks there. And Obi's got to go. Thanks for joining us, Obi. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, and like my sign says, apart from metaphysically speculate, which is what you need to be doing, James, keep calm. Right? Keep calm, please.
And atheists think lizard people evolved from frogs. Yep, pretty much.
Lizards evolved from frogs? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Well, the lizard people. Atheists think lizard people evolved from frogs.
That's a ridiculous fucking thing to say. Absolutely ridiculous. Try a bit of metaphysical speculation yourself, sir.
God created, just like Genesis states. That's your only other option.
Of course, you're leaving out all the other creation mythologies. But yeah, okay. And I believe it was Ember that pointed out there's a lot of other possibilities, including maybe Bigfoot did it. Did you ever think about that? I have.
Maybe it was
evolution is how you get man without God. So if an atheist is going to deny this, and he's saying man was made man from the very beginning and always has been man. Well, if that's your position, then thanks, because I always knew that Genesis was right to begin with.
Now, see, right there, we can disagree on that point. That no, people definitely show that we evolved and that we share primate cousins and ancestors. And nope, man always wasn't man. There was never just these two people. It goes against everything genetics knows. So on this point, nope, we'll make a stand. Wrong.
So atheists
okay.
destroy themselves with their own stupid comments. But now that we got that
I'm sorry I keep making all these stupid comments. I really am.
out of the way, I want to get to the
citation needed. Could you just please demonstrate that you have some stupid comments from atheists?
Yeah,
I dare say you can find them. I mean, there's stupid people everywhere, especially in the side chat. But nonetheless, you know.
I don't know where. Of course, he could be on other sources getting comments, but I didn't see a lot of them.
I'm stupid.
Hey, we're all here. We're all here to be stupid. That's what we came for.
Know what I mean? Guy thinks he's
main topic of this video. The main thing that completely destroys evolution.
Ooh.
Now, I call it evolution, and I know you've seen me use that phrase a lot on this.
So original. Yeah, good for you.
Channel. Evolution.
Oh, it's evil. Ocean. Okay.
Because it is pure evil. The author of it is Satan.
Oh. I didn't know that. Okay. Satan. I'll write that down. Satan authored evolution. Okay.
This idea comes from the pit of hell.
From the pit of hell. Wow, he's getting powerful.
But the one thing that destroys macroevolution the most, number one on my personal list anyways, and the silliest, that completely makes evolution look ridiculous, and it exposes it for the fairy tale and religious stupidity that it is, is this. This is number one.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
The belief that the sexual reproductive organs came about, as everything else, of course, accidentally.
What? No, that's not what evolution is. Natural selection is not accidental.
Do we have to explain the nubs again, Mike?
Random, and it's not accidental.
Not doing it tonight.
Not doing the nubs. There's a lot of ways to exchange genetic information, and species pretty much specialize because of different environmental concerns, different pressures predators, sexual selection, all these different things. And for those reasons, certain traits were selected for. So in some species, they like colors, they like a big display. Maybe they just like their the smell of their musk. And maybe, physical features come into it for certain species. And those get selected for. So there you go. That's why you got what you got, folks. Mike, is there any other reason you got what you got?
No.
Did I miss anything?
No. I'm silent on the matter.
Mike is silent on the nub issue?
Yeah, the nub issue. I'm not going there.
A mindless, thoughtless process, stupid process, cannot think and knows nothing, somehow knew that life needs to reproduce or it's going to die out on Earth before it ever gets started.
There's so much nonsense. My head's going to explode.
Okay.
And then there had to be a male, and then there had to be a female that evolved at the same time, and then they had sex for the first time, and they just happened to both evolve at the same time, the male and the female, the nub and the anti-nub, yeah, the nub and the anti-nub. Yeah.
A process would have to know something like this.
Would it?
But
does that make any sense?
No.
Does it make any sense that a process knows?
Process knowing something, yeah.
I mean, not in the terms of the scientific sense. I mean, maybe in the biological sense, you could say the brain is a process and that has knowledge, but know is such a dodgy word, right?
I believe that it just started creating sexual reproductive organs by itself. It didn't know they were needed. It just started doing it just for the hell of it. It's funny how something.
Again,
Then he cackles.
Yeah, well, would you say natural selection plays into it, Mike? Why so many species chose to exchange genetic material sexually? It's very advantageous, right?
Yeah, it turned out to be advantageous. Yeah. But it happened, at a single cell level, and they didn't always. They weren't always reproductive. Basically, it was something that developed very slowly at the DNA level. So.
And we do have things like have things like spores and budding and all that, right? Where it just kind of clones itself, right? But overwhelmingly, the sexual selection for genetic or some kind of sexual exchange with the genetic material obviously became very advantageous because it's used in plants, animals, the flowers, everything. It's very advantageous to share your genetic material and get a good mix.
Thoughtless that knows nothing is always given life exactly what it needs every single damn time.
Not really, because isn't it like 99.9% of species have gone extinct? So I don't think life gets exactly what it needs at all. I mean,
also most mutations are deleterious. So.
Oh.
It's very rare you get a good one.
You have to appeal to intelligence to make evolution even make any common sense. You must appeal to intelligence. Because
never do.
No, that's exactly what Darwin showed. That natural selection will do it just as well.
Yes. That's pretty much the way he said it too. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're saying we needed eyes to see. Accidentally, we have eyes.
No, all you need is an eye spot, or a eye sensitive cell is all you need.
We needed them in the front of our head. Well, accidentally, there they are in the front of our head.
Well,
why would they do that?
Yeah.
They could have been anywhere, you know. They could have just popped out on top of your head or behind your head. Who knows?
Well, well, sometimes they are on what would be the back of the head, right? If you're a little flat thing in the water, then your spot is usually up on top, so you can detect shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they're talking about good teleology, then why have they got the receptors at the front? Right? Why does it all come in upside down?
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the best design ever, is it? Let's face it. Why do we have these blind spots? Doesn't make any sense.
And eyes are all different too. Eyes see in different wavelengths. Eyes, like a hawk can spot a mouse a mile away or whatever it is, right? The eyes have specialized, and there's so many different kinds of eyes. That's another great evidence for the evolution of the eye, is that there are so many different kinds of eyes, from simple eyes to complex eyes to eyes that see in all different wavelengths. And
that's one of the things, evolution.
Was it not all species see in color, and some see colors differently, and that's why certain colors of flowers attract certain species, because those colors stand out more in their vision. So yeah, it's specialized all over, insects to everything else.
And these irregularities, shall we say, in species, which are not necessarily good design, they're explained much better by someone like a theory of evolution than a theory of God. It's much simpler explanation for all of the different things that work and the things that don't work get very well explained by evolution. The name of that nerve that connects, was it the tongue or something like that? Laryngeal nerve.
Laryngeal nerve, yeah.
That's better explained through evolution and common ancestry than it ever could be explained by a designer who just decided to fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense under the God hypothesis at all. It makes perfect sense under evolution.
Oh, and breathing and eating with the same tube. It's very dangerous. People expire from choking all the time, right? And some species, like with a snake, has an extra tube so it can breathe while it's eating, right? So why didn't we get that? If we're like a pinnacle, see, this is one of the things that the creationists will say, like, humans are supposedly the pinnacle of creation, right? Yet so many other species have specialties that we don't have. I think Hawaiian Shirt Guy brings it up. Why don't we have wings, right? If we're so evolved, why can't we fly? Well, because it wasn't necessary to get busy. Right?
Why did God make chimpanzees?
Yeah,
They're so much like us, right?
If we're the height of evolution, the pinnacle of evolution, why have I got such a small penis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the blue whale? I mean, isn't that the one Hawaiian Shirt Guy talks about all the time? The 15-footer, right?
Well, the bar scene.
I made myself laugh. Sorry, I need to do the proper laugh there.
The bar scene in Star Wars, where every single alien is like way, way different from every other one. That is what an intelligence creates. Yeah. It doesn't create a whole bunch of species that look kind of like the other ones or little gradations. It wouldn't create primates along with humans. I don't know why God would have done that, to confuse us. What was the point of that?
Yeah, and one of the arguments that creationists will use is like with us and the other apes is that God uses similar parts, right? There's no reason to keep making parts. Well, there again, we have different eyes. We have all these different things from species to species that are not being reused, right? So that argument is really weak. Yeah,
he's omnipotent, and he wouldn't have had any reason to not to make every single animal vastly different from every other one. Why are there phyla? Why are there families? Why are there orders? This doesn't make any sense. That would have been the way he created something.
And the ultimate would be the metamorphosis, right? There are species that go through a total change, like the caterpillar to the butterfly, the nymphs in my pond that eventually will fly out as dragonflies, right? They have a serious metamorphosis that goes on. Why haven't we evolved that? That would be neat. You just get bored one day and make yourself a cocoon and you come out as something and fly away, right?
Yeah, the baby wraps itself in a cocoon and then hatches when it's 18. You can kick its ass out of the house. That would be great.
There's a beautiful argument against suffering, right? I mean, obviously, the amount of suffering there is in nature shows that an omnibenevolent God is extremely unlikely, I think. But there was a beautiful argument I heard, which was something went along these lines, which was God could have made us vegetarian quite easily. A simple change to our DNA, we could have digested a lot more things which are vegetarian. And think of the amount of animal suffering that would have prevented. Just saying. Just another argument against God. I think it was Phil Halper that came up with that, or it was in one of the books.
I know, like Alex O'Connor and stuff talks about it too.
Okay, yeah. And I think it's a great argument. I mean, why? Simple change to our digestive system, and there you go.
Oh, I can do you one better. Why don't we just photosynthesize?
Oh, brilliant!
Right? Well, I mean, God obviously had the ability to put it in plants. So why don't we just, why don't we have green skin with maybe a, solar panel type hairdo, right? Sticking out, like leaves,
Why do we have an anus?
Well, yeah, ultimately, like the creationists will say that before sin, everybody was a vegetarian, right? But then you still have to account plant death, right? I mean, you're still setting up a system of having to kill something to survive, right? Unless you, I guess, picking the fruit wouldn't really kill something. But I mean, you know what I mean, though. Yeah.
The amount of animal suffering that it would have reduced in nature just by having us as vegetarians, let alone if you made all animals vegetarians.
And same thing, all the animals could have been green too.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to say that because Adam ate a fruit, therefore all the animals have got to suffer, then okay, if that's your theology, go for it. You know what I mean? But it just makes you look fucking ridiculous.
2 is perfect, and we accidentally got 2 of them. We need feet to walk on. Accidentally, we got those too. We need arms. Wow, accidentally, we got them also.
Amazing.
Oh my God, it was all
they just popped out. This always reminds me of the Richard Dawkins video where it's titled like the worst question he was ever asked, or some dumbest question he was ever asked, something. And the person that was interviewing him asked, what do we do for millions of years before our bladder and everything developed so that we can go to the bathroom?
We don't pee. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And there's no understanding of basics, cells. I've seen it myself looking under the microscope. You can see cells taking things in and squirting them out, right? That's all you need, right? And then you can get more complicated from there, and like they said, we're all born as a-holes, right? We're just one big tube.
Also, like, just to say this, like, the fact that he's saying stuff like this just shows that he has no understanding of natural selection at all.
No.
Right? Because this is the whole argument that Darwin had tried to explain to people, right? Which is we've evolved to this environment.
Yeah,
well, it's like
that's it, right?
Made
So
by
of course
Jim
we
Bob's
have
now.
arms that are arms, because that's how we've evolved to fit this environment. That's why we wear clothes. That's why there is any number of like biological traits we have, right?
I believe we have a theist joining us, asking some questions. First, the human being searches a sense of life. Maybe it's for something bigger. Well, you know, all these kind of things of what you want to make your life into and everything. You know, you can do whatever you want with your life. You can give it all kinds of meaning, including spiritual meanings. There's people who have profound spiritual experiences, and that's fine. Okay, if it works for them, really don't have a problem. As we've said often, we have two big problems in the community. Number one is using your religion to make laws against people, especially in secular countries where you're not supposed to do that. And number two is pushing bad science on people, including children at like AIG and Hawaiian Shirt Guy and everybody else do, where it's always bring the kids, you'll have a good time, they can ride on these dinosaur things and all this stuff. That's what the issue is. If you want to, you know, have this profound experience, if you think you're all set up in the afterlife, if you're zen in the moment and you're at peace in this reality, hey, good for you. Seriously.
Yeah, but the thing is, the best way to fuck up your life and miss it is to search for ultimate meaning or to believe in something outside of yourself.
Yeah, like, don't miss the scenery along the way, right?
Right, because you miss the true meaning of life, which is right here, right now. And if you're constantly searching for meaning and something else, you're reaching, then you're missing what you are given, which is right here, right now.
Which may have been the meaning all along, right?
But it took me about 70 years to figure that shit out.
And John could use 4 arms, but he's only got 2. I know John is busy out there in the shop and everything all the time. Yeah, why didn't he get 4 arms? I mean, John,
you know, working on my car, I have needed 2 extra arms a lot.
Oh yeah, you need
because
you definitely
there's always something to be held out of the way or moved. It would be very helpful.
You're not manifesting hard enough, John. You need some lessons from Wayne on how to manifest those arms, because in another reality, you have those extra arms. So, or no, it's another timeline. Another timeline. That's what he says. Yeah.
So, diverging from John's point, sorry for a little bit. So, there's 2 things I want to say about this wanting something bigger. Firstly, of course, I think we all want something bigger. Nobody wants to necessarily to die. That's an evolutionary trait that we've inherited to make sure that we do reproduce and survive for the next generation. So that's perfectly natural. So, and of course, I would like to live, longer than my allotted, whatever it is, 65 years or 70 years or whatever it's going to be. That would be very nice. But I do also know, and I have done some Eastern mysticism to know that, as these guys have already said, it's the journey that matters, not necessarily the destination. And if you focus on the destination, you're just going to miss the journey. And that's all we really know we've got. So whether there is something after or not, okay, who knows, right? Nobody's claiming that they do have an answer for that. But nonetheless, what I do know is that fixating on this incredible afterlife, which is going to be so amazing, doesn't mean that when there is necessarily going to be one. And if there isn't one, all you've done is destroy the beauty of your journey right now. So I think wanting the extra thing is one thing. Wanting something bigger is fair enough. I wouldn't deny that people want that. But as Eastern mysticism will tell you, the more you fixate on it, the less you understand what your real meaning of being here is. So I would just say, look, even if I grant you all the things about trying to live for another life coming up, it still means that you need to concentrate on what's here. You still have to fulfill your duty as a sentient being on this planet, and allowing at least future generations to live, even if it's not by directly conceiving yourself. There you go. Just my little rant on that shit.
And the meaning is 42. I've heard that.
Yep.
And Kafai is here. What's Kafai saying? Searching for meaning in Zen. There's a metaphor of a Zen master waving his fist around in front of a child as though he has something great inside of his hand, something dazzling and worth the wait. Then, when he finally opens his hand in front of the kid, there's nothing upon his palm. True.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it was Lao Tse, maybe Lao Tse, that said something like, it's the journey, not the destination. Words to that effect. I think that's still probably the deepest thing you can teach somebody about the meaning of life.
Google Eats wants you to know, Mr. Hudson, your order of 2 arms has shipped. You may also be interested in mittens.
That's very good, Google Eats. That's very good.
That's all I've been able to think about.
Thumbs.
Are you hungry, Mike?
For the last hour is donuts.
Oh, the donuts. I know. Donut. That's why I'm all for a donut Earth, because
I want
donuts.
Right now.
I want to sin so bad. Oh my God.
I miss the donut shops where they use the old-fashioned oils and everything. If you're going to do it right. You know what I mean?
I grew up
Krispy
in a store. I'm sorry. I grew up on a street in Jonesboro, Arkansas, for a few years anyway, where every Sunday morning, and for some reason it was always on a Sunday morning, you could smell the scent of the donut shop just a block or 2 away. It was like waking up in heaven.
Yeah.
I think
first job,
and then I start to get grumbly in my tummy, and then I realize, oh damn, I'm a diabetic. I can't have
my first job was working at a bakery making donuts and bread and all of that. And they let us eat as much as we wanted. And in about 3 weeks, we were so goddamn sick of eating donuts. we couldn't look at them without throwing up.
I had a couple of friends that worked at a donut shop. I had friends that worked at a pizza place. I had friends that worked at McDonald's. And yeah, you get the hookup, right?
Yep.
On each hand at the end of our arms to grab things. Wow, guess what? We accidentally got them too. Wow, accidents are amazing. They think of everything, don't they?
Yep.
We accidentally got a brain too because we needed to think. We can't even be conscious without it. So that's definitely needed. It controls everything in the body. All its functions, its limbs, everything. So we definitely needed that. Well, guess what? A thoughtless process thought of everything and accidentally gave you a brain too.
Again, there are species that do not have a brain. So just pointing that out.
We needed lungs. Boom! We accidentally got them.
And there are species that don't have lungs, and they managed to get along just fine.
We needed a heart. We accidentally got that too.
And there's all kind of hearts, but don't worms have like a dozen hearts or something, Mike?
I don't know.
I think they got like a bunch of little hearts or something.
Well, we got a bunch of little things that push the fluid around.
Yeah.
There's no Krispy Kreme donut shops in Minneapolis, St. Paul. You have to go to Iowa. What the fuck is up with that? Why didn't they think of that?
Well, we had Dunkin' Donuts was always the big one here, and they're almost all gone. And they kind of went like independent like they were doing like their own recipes or something. I think there's really only one, I think, around here that's still like what I would call an old style, but they have all that new stuff too. They make sandwiches and drinks and everything now. And yeah.
Okay, the nearest Krispy Kreme is by Des Moines, Iowa, where Leo lives. So I'm going to order takeout and say they have delivery, so I'm going to order delivery. See how long it takes.
Have Leo drop it off for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed some of the things. Yeah, and we had a place that was called Hinkle's Donuts, and Hinkle's was like the big soft ones, you know, those just so buttery soft. My dad would say, "I got the taste for some Hinkle's Donuts. You want to go for a ride?"
Yep.
And we would go over there, and they had different donuts are, you know, a little bit different recipes and everything, you know. Yeah, these were those super light, fluffy ones, you know, kind of close to what a Krispy Kreme is. And yeah, a lot of those places, they just aren't around anymore. You just got like Tim Hortons and, you know, some of the bakeries and stuff.
215.06 miles I got to drive to get a goddamn Krispy Kreme donut. Why didn't God think of that?
Have you seen Harold and Kumar?
I think I did a long time ago.
You know, they
Yes.
go drive to find a White Castle because the one's closed.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Maloney was one of the most funny characters in that whole franchise. You know, he's the guy from Law and Order SVU and then Law and Order Organized Crime or whatever. He was hilarious in those movies.
The lengths you'll go to when you want something to eat. I miss Godfather's Pizza used to be in town, which was kind of a Chicago style. It was deep dish, just piled, you know. And they went out, but I understand they're still in Indiana. So, yeah, you got to drive to another state for your favorite pie. It's just like, man, get a favorite going, and then they ship out the stores, and they really leave you hanging. It's totally unfair. It really is. They need a long-term contract.
Needed blood so the heart can pump through our body so we can stay alive, carry oxygen through us. We accidentally got that too. On and on and on, one accident after the next, and every accident seems to be exactly what we needed. And the part gets...
Woohoo!
Needed for what?
Vesta said Krispy Kreme tried in Canada and they failed. Tim Hortons is the winner. Yeah.
Apparently they failed in Minnesota too because there's one left.
Well, for a while they were popping up. Yeah, they were popping up everywhere. And then a bunch of them closed.
Yeah, because all their customers died of heart failure. One after another.
Positioned exactly where it needs to be within the body structure. So the heart is not stuck in your foot, or the heart is not sticking out the side of your head, or your face, or your back, or your arm.
Oh,
this guy is. This is the dumbest one we've ever listened to, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got the freak. Yeah, this one is special. He's about the lowest. I don't even think it's low fruit. I think it's just, fruit on the ground.
Fruit that fell off the tree.
I think, even that guy that wore the white T-shirts and always looked like he was in some sort of institution when he was reporting. I can't remember his name, but we watched a couple of his movies. But, this is pretty low.
This is low.
Now, see, Google Eats is a god I can get with here. Mr. Dave, your orders of one Godfather's Pizza is shipped. You may also be interested in offer you can't refuse. Yeah, I do miss those pies. Like I say, they need a long-term contract, or we get to vote on it or something, before they close up and just leave you hanging. It's like, hey, where's my pie? Where's my donuts? Mike, you need to get out with a sign. You need to protest the city hall there, whatever you got. Say, where's my donuts? Yeah.
Know what you need to do? You need to order me a pizza before Saturday night at the Atheist, so I quit obsessing over food. That's what you need to do. Okay, just call Domino's in Bloomington and deliver it to my address. I'll give it to you guys.
Domino's. Now, see, Domino's went out mostly, and then they kind of rebounded, and then they came back and opened up some places. And
yeah, they're
I've been fairly impressed. For a cheaper pie, some of their ones, like I think it's called the Brooklyn style or something like that, they're not bad. So whatever they've done, good job. Yeah, we do get Domino's sometimes, and they deliver.
I'm going to
position right and everything.
What?
I'm going to blink out. I'm going to blink out for about 20 minutes and see if you guys are still going when I get back.
Okay.
I got to go do something.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'll bet it's mycelium related.
He's going to put it on pizza. I know he is.
That would be a good thing.
Ember, Brooklyn is the best pizza for a chain. Yeah, I like the Brooklyn style.
The Freak is asking you a question.
Didn't you say you're located near the actual Orange Bowl? No. That's Florida, isn't it?
I think.
I'm on the other end.
Orange Bowl? What? On my table? You Americans, you're a mystery unto yourselves.
Yeah. No, Miami. Yeah. Miami. No, I am a Miami Dolphins football fan. That's my football team. That's Miami.
I thought California was the state with all the oranges in.
Florida. Well, Florida, California too, yeah, but the commercials always ran around here were Florida oranges, so good, stuff like that. Yeah.
Is exactly what we needed. And on top of this, guess what? An accident accidentally created sexual organs.
That's because we're evolved to fit the environment. I mean, just go forward if he's going to keep making the same stupid point.
It just so happens that both of them are the opposite and they fit each other perfectly. And now
what a coincidence, right?
We can reproduce. And this was, again, another accident. That makes sense and say intelligence.
Not an accident.
Created
not an accident.
You tell
natural selection is not an accident.
No.
Like a filter. Only
yeah,
certain
he
things
just doesn't understand how we think hearts and arms and livers and whatever came about, or eyeballs as well. He just doesn't know. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, he really has no idea what the theory of evolution actually says.
John says, go Bills. Oh, yeah, you're in my division. All right. That's all good, though. Enjoy. I like watching. I'm a good sport. So we've done all right the last few years, but again, we're always trouble with the quarterbacks. You know, we just they either run hot, cold, or they just can't take a hit, and it's really tough. But anyway, yeah. So Miami Dolphins, that's my team. Like it or not, hey, it's all good.
I mean that you would look at it and it wouldn't prove intelligence to you? Come on. That's where common sense comes in, for God's sake. Use it. Evolution wants us to look at the human body and all its magnificence.
Hey, Kevin.
And splendor.
The ape.
Hello.
How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you. John, no Super Bowl. Yeah, me neither. And it's a shame too. Marino had all those great records and everything. He didn't have the big one. But you know, that's how it goes.
And precision. And it wants us to believe it was an accident. Every part of it just accidentally knew it needed to be there, and poof, there it was eventually.
Now, wait a minute. Poof, there it was eventually. Hey, John, how you doing? I think he's letting it slip there a little bit that poof, like it just occurred, which is what he was talking about, just climbing out of some dead matter or whatever nonsense he was talking about. But now he's leaning to eventually. Well, now eventually, that's a better word. Because yes, eventually these things happened because of all the pressures and what was selected for. And including, he's got a picture up here, and these things in here too for reproduction are different in different species too. So, just my opinion is that whoever designed the fellas to hang out there unprotected, I didn't appreciate that at all. So I think that's a big design flaw, because some species keep them inside where they're protected.
Now think about this. Each sexual organ would have to know what the other evolution was doing on the other organ.
Kinky. You shouldn't be watching what all the other organs are doing. All right. Well, that's your lesson with the birds and the bees.
Oh, right.
From voice of truth. So we'll give his other one here a quick listen here before we end things here tonight. We'll see if we can get anything a little more interesting, because maybe this one might be a little better, or I'm wondering how this next one here could possibly be any worse, right? What do you think, Simos?
I don't think it could be any worse than that. I mean, let's face it, that was scraping the bottom of the barrel. That wasn't scraping the bottom of the barrel. That was scraping the floor below the bottom of the barrel. So, yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think that could be any worse.
And Mark Reed stopping in. Good to see you, Mark. I don't remember what this one is, so it's going to be a surprise. Oh, yeah, it's another We're Stupid.
Atheism.
What a surprise.
Mocks Christians and accuses them of believing in fairy tales. What they believe is silly, it's retarded, it's stupid, it's not even logical. Yet they believe something that is not even science. DNA is information. It is an actual blueprint that gives the cells instructions on what to create. So the cells know to create a human being, how the human being should be created. It should have 2 arms, 4 fingers, 2 thumbs, a head, legs, feet attached to it, eyes, nose, and on ad infinitum at bloody nauseum.
Okay. I'm trying to picture this guy in front of a classroom.
Instructions down to the letter on how to create a human being. That's why when a woman gets pregnant, a human being grows inside of her.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's who was mentioning the lizard people earlier? It might be a lizard people. We can't rule it out because it's on the internet, right?
Because the cells are following the instructions from the DNA. Coded instructions that can be deciphered in order to create something meaningful with purpose only comes from a mind.
And you can't demonstrate this mind because the mind thing we've talked about a lot. And then what does a mind mean when you go to this supernatural being that is unlike anything else and is not material like with us, with our material brain? This thing is immaterial. So then you have to say, okay, well then the mind is all immaterial and supernatural, which some people will claim, but then we can demonstrate like things with, brain damage and stuff that isn't true. It's in the brain. So you have a long road to demonstrate that this consciousness, this brain, this genius thing can exist outside of a body and be immaterial to even make this claim. It's a bold claim. You can presuppose it, but it's a bold claim. And the way you're critiquing science and things that are demonstrable, you don't have any of that.
Windows 10 program just program itself by itself for no reason at all.
Not a biological organism. And so, yeah, it's just it's a layman's analogy that people understand, and that's why it's explained with computer analogies, but it's not the same because it doesn't reproduce. And as we discussed earlier, there's a big benefit to sharing genetic material versus a computer would be like cloning itself or whatever, I guess, which wouldn't be advantageous. As we've said earlier, almost all species rely on this shared genetic material to have a better advantage of hanging around, especially when things happen to the populations, often like with diseases, because of all this variation. That's why some get it and some don't, and it helps the species survive. So all these things are advantageous, and he's leaving it all out with it was just made that way, and atheists are stupid. It's like, okay.
No, it's a code that has a purpose to create your Windows operating system. It is meaningful code, meaning when it's deciphered, it creates something with meaning, with purpose.
Meaning and purpose.
Well, you're just begging the question. I mean,
it's a chemical. It's a chemical reaction. That's what it. DNA is held up on high, but DNA is a molecule, and there are simple molecules. There are more complex molecules. So this is another argument against one. If you take one step at a time, you can never reach a mile, right? And
it's like this guy took a big barrel, and through every misconception there ever existed about science or philosophy or whatever, shook it up and just started drafting a life philosophy out of it or something. It's just weird. He gets absolutely nothing right about science or even its theology.
And time, you're discussing there, Simos, outside of time. Yeah, there's always a problem with outside of time. How can anything be done if there's no time? A timeless cause.
Yeah, Scott's getting on him as well.
Yeah.
It's all right. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, that's not. I was just catching up.
Lovely guy. He's been very respectful. We like that, and he's engaging. So I've got to give him kudos for that.
And hello, Randy. How you doing? Yeah, we welcome everybody here to join the discussion. Not a problem.
Information that can be decoded to create something meaningful and with purpose only comes from a mind. This is observable, repeatable fact, and nothing to the contrary has ever been observed, ever. Information only comes from a mind.
And that's not true because Peter Atkins, one of our favorites, has said that a simple molecule forming a bond is information. And that happens naturally. It doesn't have to think or know or foresee it or anything else. It's a matter of physics and chemistry. They form bonds, and that is information. There you go. You do not need a mind or anything. What the mind or the brain, all these things that we use to understand the natural world, yes, but they aren't actually out there supernaturally that we can observe.
No, I don't want the snowflake example from Atheists posted down in the comments. Oh, well, look at the fancy design of a snowflake. Is that information? Common straw men continuously. No, that's a complex pattern. That's not information. You cannot decode it to create something.
That's besides the point. It's information, whether you can understand it or not. I don't understand. I don't know why I'm trying to understand it too hard, but and Randy's saying hey to Dave and Mark and all the Johns. Hello. It's always good to see you, Randy. We have a lot of folks coming through. We appreciate everybody, and yeah, let's say I haven't seen Freak in a while. Good to see you. Yeah, some new names popping in the chat. Everybody, welcome. We're just giving this a few more minutes here to wrap things up, just to because I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. So I'm just going to listen.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, he's going over stuff that, I mean, he's making the same mistakes time and time again. So I really understand at this point that this guy's not really a very deep thinker or a deep investigator, I should say. He may be a deep thinker, but he's not a deep investigator.
Maybe this guy in this video meant to write a theist is very stupid. Not all theists.
Atheism is very His
theism is very stupid. Okay, thank you, Simus. That clears this up.
Right.
It was a typo. It was a typo.
No, you were right. You were right. It should be atheist. Is very stupid.
As possible.
And I'm sure there is one. I would say that, and I would say also I'm sure there are atheists that are very stupid. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of stupidity.
Yep.
But there you go. But whatever. I think he should put himself forward for that.
And don't forget, if you enjoy the discussions here, make sure you like and subscribe, and drop down in the description and like and describe the other channels for the panel members that are here, because sometimes the conversations are over there as well. So also, while you're down in the description, you'll find links for Breeze merchandise. And you will find, speaking of, I need to make myself big. There we go. I'm wearing my HiveSci shirt. See? Of course, I got the Bigfoot one. That link is in the description where you can get yourself some merch. Bree's got different cryptids, and I believe she said she's got a Pride shirt coming out. And there's some other stuff there too, like hats and socks or whatever. Link in the description, as well as Kentucky Atheist, who's organizing the ARC protest. His link's in the description, as well as links to his affiliate and merch and everything. And there's a discount code if you use the affiliate. All that's in the description. Make sure you check it out. Like everybody, subscribe to everybody. Go there to get your merch. If you're going to get merch anywhere, anyways, that's the place to go to get it. And we have memberships now. So if you'd like to join the channel, hit the join button below and you can become a member of the channel. All right. And I think that's about it. I don't know what else to say about Voice of Truth. I did want to point out, I just wanted to watch, usually we don't get through one video. So mostly I wanted to have a couple other videos from Voice of Truth just to show that almost all their videos are exactly like that. He repeats himself. He even has a video where he talks about why he repeats himself so much. And that all goes back to his description on his channel that says, I repeat the same things that need repeated for those who have severe learning disabilities, atheists. So he admits that he repeats himself over and over, and it's because we just don't get it. And let me tell you, I get it. Number one, this is just conflating atheists with scientists, first of all. And if all the scientists are wrong, that doesn't mean anything. Okay. You haven't provided sufficient evidence to convince me. That's all it is. Okay. And that goes for a lot of things, like Bigfoot. I would love for there to be Bigfoots, but I haven't found convincing evidence of one. If you have convincing evidence of one, I'd love to see it. If there was cryptids out there and ghosts out there and whatever, people that can sprout wings and fly around at night, that'd be neat, but you have to demonstrate it, okay? We have a really vivid imagination. It's not just gods, I mentioned earlier. People believe in a lot of things. And it just seems I don't know, for good or for bad, right? We are very creative. We have this imagination. We can imagine all these things. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I do. I kid around about Bigfoot, but I don't base my life on Bigfoot. Some of my wardrobe choices, maybe. But Bigfoot doesn't influence my decisions on things other than my wardrobe. And what was the other thing? I don't know, once again, why they're so obsessed with this observation thing, right? Observation is part of the scientific method. And we went around with Jim Bob on it before, Mike and I and Scott and all of us. I don't know if Simos got in on any of that, but a lot of folks have. And that's one of the ones he uses too, is you have to observe it. And it's like, observation's only part of it, the scientific method, and you can observe data. You can observe all kinds of things that are not direct observations of you seeing something. And yeah, it gets a little old, but they keep repeating it, so we're going to keep replying to it. It's wrong. You're wrong. It's not the only thing that makes science is that you have to see something. It's just wrong. There's so many things that we can't see that we know exist. So it's just wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, if I could just say a couple of things, if I may, please, Dave.
The floor is yours, Simos. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Just to address some of the side chat which I've been engaged with in the recent half hour or so with Scott. Thank you, Scott. Also, thank you to Meow Soleil. I can't pronounce that. It's French or Swiss, I don't know, cartoon. I don't recognize the cartoon, but nonetheless, thank you so much for the conversation. And you're making some good points here, and I'd love to talk to you personally to make it a little easier to communicate. But nonetheless, yeah, you could be right. You could be right. But of course, as you're saying, just because it's logically possible doesn't mean it's plausible. And I think that the philosophical virtues that we've been talking about are best described by naturalism because they're simpler. It's just a simpler explanation. And I don't find saying that God did it an explanation for method. It may be some kind of ontological explanation. It may be, and maybe that's what you're looking for, some ontological certainty. But I don't think we can ever find that because we're human. And I think epistemically is the best we can do. And as a result, an epistemical explanation is probably better. And for that, we really need some kind of method by which the act was completed. And for that, naturalism has a simpler explanation because it doesn't posit any supernatural beings whatsoever. So for that reason, I think that all of your arguments, although reasonably logical, are not necessarily the simplest explanation and therefore the most philosophically virtuous arguments. And that's fine. We can definitely disagree on these things. And if you wanted to come back next week and have, if you've got more arguments you want to put forward or discuss them in chat, then please do come back and we will certainly look forward to seeing you again. And as for James, whatever it is that's biting you, I hope it stops biting you soon. And if it helps you to, that's fine. Develop away next week. Would love to have you back in the side chat. I'm sure Scott would feel the same as me, although he can express that certainly. But as for James, I really hope that you, whatever's biting you, stops biting you soon, and that you see that we're all struggling to get through life, and wishing horror or wishing sin on somebody else, or even wishing them a bad time because of what they believe, isn't necessarily the right way to go. Trying to convince them in a productive and helpful and hopefully wholesome way is probably a better way to go. If you really believe what you're saying and you want people to try to avoid the consequence of your belief, then try being constructive instead of destructive. And that's really all I've got to say for that. I'm sure most of the panel would agree with me here.
Yep.
So, nothing new. I wish you peace, James. Go ahead.
And yeah, no, I agree. Thanks for the great conversations in the chat as always. And thanks for everybody joining us. Of course, we always have the best people joining us, and I appreciate everybody joining. And don't forget to hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe if you aren't subscribed. For some reason, I lost a couple subscribers this morning. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did to upset you. Please resubscribe.
Dave, don't push yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Losing
YouTube
subscribers it could have been somebody just going through their subscriptions, going, I got too many, and cancel you. They could have been trying to cancel somebody, cancel their subscription, unsubscribe from somebody else.
I'm being canceled. That's what it is.
Not canceled. I unsubscribe.
YouTube also goes through your subscribers on a regular basis.
I know.
And unsubscribe people who are no longer part of the platform. So it could just be people leaving YouTube as well. So there's that. That's what I find anyway. And
I still want you to subscribe though, and as well as subscribe to Answers in Atheism, and subscribe to Simos Funk, and subscribe to other folks that are in the chat or in the description below the video as well.
Yeah, and remember, keep calm and metaphysically speculate. And also, just to say, on this Thursday, I haven't decided what the topic is yet, but Thursday coming up, I missed last week. I fell asleep. But this Thursday, the State of the Onion will be on at 10 p.m. UK time. That's 5 o'clock Eastern, I believe. So 5 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday. And yeah, please be there. I really appreciate lots of side chat, which we will talk about. It may well be an open room as well, in which case you'll be able to join, provided you're nice people. And I'm looking at what is that? A turtle covered in icing? Sugar?
It's a donut.
So
It happened by accident.
You took 20 minutes off to go get a donut?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it is a donut.
He
And
ran to the
it's probably,
store.
in which case it's donuts all the way down. So there we go.
It happened by accident. It was a complete accident that this donut happened here.
You manifested a donut.
I manifested a donut. Yeah.
See?
Nice.
Oh, we're going to have to revisit Wayne now because you done manifested a donut. Now, if I can just manifest with my toaster to not overdo my toast, we just might have to revisit Wayne again. I did look around. It doesn't seem like Wayne has done anything recently. So, Wayne, if you're out there, please make a video. We really would love to review another one of your videos, Wayne. They are awesome, really. We loved them. I mean, amongst all the ones we've looked at, I think we've enjoyed the learning about manifesting with a toaster the most.
Oh,
and I mean that sincerely, really.
100%. 100%. I still look at every time I go in my kitchen, I look at my toaster and see if it's evolved.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, and if you get another ketchup bottle that shows up in the cupboard there, then the pantry or wherever you have it, that might be something too.
Yeah. There you go.
And
funnily enough, I do think, and I can't tell, I've got no scientific proof of this, you understand, guys, but I believe, I believe is too strong a word. I might imply that my toaster is moving nearer to my ketchup bottle.
There you go.
I don't know if that means anything. I wish I had an expert out there to tell me.
Cats love donuts.
You're feeding Snack a donut?
Cats love anything
No,
you've
this
got,
is
Mike.
this is Thor. So this is Thor.
Oh, that's better.
I'm
Feeding
eating
Thor a
Thor,
donut.
yeah.
I guess you
Like
hate
Thor.
Thor?
No, I hate Snack.
You got a donut just to give it to the cat?
You put
So
up
today
John's,
I decided
there,
that
please.
Loki
Just
is
put up
made
John's
out of
comment.
spice. Loki is spice drops. Thor is donuts, and Snack is poop.
Could you put up John's last comment there, please, Dave?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that this comment is one of my favorites from Tilting Windmill. Bigfoot probably won't send you to hell if you don't believe in them.
That's probably true.
Okay, John, the donut.
Yep. The donut evolved into a cat. There you go, right in front of our eyes.
Right, and it has happened here at Saturday Night the Atheist. Manifesting and everything, truly incredible. It really is.
And also, John said 7:00 Pacific time for my Thursday stream.
7 Pacific. Okay,
State of the Onion.
we're not in that time zone.
By the way, notice Nicholas Loves Nietzsche didn't show up to, I guess, claim his time or whatever.
He must be a beta. He's a beta.
I want to say hey to Dane stopping through here, the Dark Light, and what up, you beautiful mothers? It's like, what's
I
up,
sent
man?
him some emails too, but he hasn't responded to me.
He was on with Brooklyn Lou earlier and talking about doing some stuff coming up, so maybe get back with him.
Yeah.
There we go. And a special shout out to Savage. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate you.
What do we got? Tilting Windmill dropped a donut emoji. There you go.
Wow.
Now I want a donut. Jay, see what you started?
I know.
Thank
And
you for
yeah,
staying
please-
awake during the whole program.
Please follow the wisdom of John here and smash that like button. It's much appreciated.
Right.
And, yeah, once again, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but the cartoon name there. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a good conversation.
Yeah, that was an enjoyable conversation, even though we never came to an agreement. But that's
okay.
a good example of a good conversation with a theist not like Mr. Fraser and that other guy who just spewed out scripture and made assertions all through the chat, just crowding it like you ever been in a garage where somebody drives in with exhaust coming out of everything, every part of the car, and it just chokes everybody out. That's kind of the equivalent of spewing scripture in a side chat where you're having a grown-up discussion.
Yeah, speaking of John, first time John ran into Jim Bob, came in, insulted everybody. Yeah, he's just we all agree here. That's just what he does, and the crowd cheers him on. They feed on it. Go make a dumpster fire or whatever. And
now, who is this a picture of that we're seeing, Mike?
I was searching for relatives on the internet today, and I found a whole PDF on the classes that my sons were in when they were like 16. So this is my twin boys, Dylan and Dustin. Dylan on the left and Dustin. So Dustin has some long hair.
Yeah, I decided not to be so twinish.
Yeah, well, yeah, Dylan got his hair cut for the prom, I think. So kind of shortened it up. Yeah, and he didn't want to be the same. And he got contacts, and Dustin didn't. So anyway. But I thought that was kind of cool to find that on the internet.
Yeah, and okay, there we go.
Wow. You've been busy there, Dave.
Busy.
Yeah, we covered the wall without any rhyme or reason tonight because, like we said, this person just seemed to be really full of it for like what, a year or so's worth of making videos. Seemed like they had a lot to say, and then they disappeared. So
he's got about 100 videos out there. He's got a lot of his politics videos might be more interesting. I got to say that this guy really, really left me depressed about the human race. I am really upset. Really upset.
That's why I don't watch him before coming on Snada, because I would get too depressed having to watch it twice.
If we have adults in this world and they're able to vote and they're this dumb, then we are in a lot of trouble, folks.
And in America, most of those are armed.
Yeah, armed too. Yeah. Isn't that great? Oh my God, I don't know.
Well, as I pointed out before, 42% of the population in the United States thinks man lived with dinosaurs. In other words, they lean young Earth creationism. And when you lean young Earth creationism, you also lean anti-science. And that translates to the climate, what germs are going around and everything.
Vaccination.
All the things all are the same groups of folks because of this disinformation they're getting about science. And this guy may be just another one of many. Ed pointed out there's a lot of them out there. And I agree with Ed from the Rabid Atheist. I think he's overdoing his show right now.
When these idiots watch a really good science fiction show, with some really deep concepts, they must not get it at all because they have no imagination, just zero. Speaking of which, I just finished Pantheon season 2 on Netflix. And
no spoilers.
The last 2 episodes are some mind-blowing shit. Get ready.
So the last 2 episodes of season 2?
Yep, some mind-blowing shit.
Thank you to Tilting Windmill there as well, by the way, for becoming a subscriber. Really appreciate that. And also, I found a picture that I also found on the internet, which was of me around the same age as Mike's kids.
Show us. Oh my God! Oh wow! Nice.
I think I was 19 there or something.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah. Playing a gig, and that was
playing on that guitar when the picture was taken.
I can't remember. I really can't remember.
Oh, I just got a memory in the Facebook the day my son moved out. It's been 9 years already that my son moved out. So, the memory thing popped up in there, and so did breaking ground on expanding my pond. Was 5 years ago today or yesterday or something. We started expanding the pond because I was patriotic and I stayed home. I avoided people, and I spent the check the government sent us on a bigger pond liner. So I was a true patriot. I stayed home. I spent the money and expanded the pond. That was 5 years ago today.
Did that pond liner come from China?
I don't know. As far as I know, it's American as it can be. Firestone is a big producer of the rubber. It's also used for rubber roofing and stuff too. So as far as I know, they make it here, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But isn't Firestone like an American company?
Used to be.
I thought it was Japanese. Bridgestone. It used to be,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
could be.
Bridgestone in somewhere else. I can't remember where.
Yeah. Anyway, I really don't know, but I know Firestones. A lot of them are made by Firestone. That's all I can tell you. So, but they're pretty tough. I mean, and they use it for on roofing too, and other things as well. So yeah, it's
Japanese.
tough. It's tough as a Japanese. All right, well there you go. Well, it goes good for a fish pond. I don't have koi, but it kind of.
Koi, Japanese.
Oh, I love watching the videos. I love watching the videos. Yeah, Firestone headquarters in Dayton, Ohio. That's what I said. I thought Firestone. I mean, it might be bought out, but I thought it used to be like an American thing. And good to see you, Jen. Thanks for stopping by.
Well, maybe, yeah, it says it was founded in 1900.
Yeah.
I was so excited this week to find out I could buy a Rolls Royce and only pay a 10% tariff now because Trump signed a deal.
All right.
So
when we go for a ride?
I'm going to buy 6 of them because hell, that's a deal, man. Like
I did drive one and worked on one. A customer of ours had a Rolls Royce, but it was a accident car where they pieced together a couple cars together, so it was really devalued, and that's how he could afford it. But yeah, it does. It's like getting in hermetic environment or something. The doors are just when they close, you can't hear outside at all. Yeah, it's really it's another experience getting in some of those cars. It really even the low model ones.
Yeah.
That was one thing. Working in the garage, I drove a lot of things. A lot of cars and trucks, and I drove a Grand National. All kinds of cars. So that was one plus, was going for a test drive. I got to drive a lot of cars.
Bridgestone an American company, or where's Bridgestone?
No, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
No shit. So
they
your
bought
pond
Firestone
liner
in
came from
1980.
Japan. Yeah.
They bought Firestone in 1988.
Yeah, Bridgestone has a big building near here. I used to deliver there.
Yep.
Apparently, the
Scott's
world's
got to go, and
largest
I got to go too, Dave. Dave and Simon.
Yeah, me too.
I'll see you guys later.
It's time to go for everybody.
I'll send you a link for Thursday if you can make it. Please do.
And check out Simos on Thursday. Link in the description. Check out Mike at Answers in Atheism. Link in the description. There's other links in the description. Check those out as well. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We had a lot of great folks here tonight. And I promise we won't look at this one from, what was his name again? I just keep putting it right out of my mind. The Voice of Truth. I think we're done with the Voice of Truth, and there won't be any reason to revisit unless you make a new video, because all the ones you have up are, I'll agree with what you say. There are a bunch of repeats, and we repeatedly listened to it, and it didn't help any.
The problem with the voice of truth for me, Dave, is that it keeps laughing at me.
It keeps laughing. I know. It can be contagious, and it can be annoying. All right, Mike.
Let's go.
And with that, we're going to play the outro. And everybody, you have a good one. And I'll see you on the Night Watch. And I'm hopefully going to have a video out, a Grassman video here shortly. I'm proofreading final copy. So I'm hoping to have that out real soon. And you never know what else we'll do, as well as showing up with folks like Simos and Answers in Atheism on their channels as well. And other than that, we will see you next Saturday, and I'll have to find something just a little bit better for next Saturday, because I think we scraped bottom. So maybe I'll try just a little harder next week. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Tales of lore knocking at the captive death's door. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive death's door. Captive desk, hold our dreams, where reality and no myth seems. In conversations quiet flow, the mysteries untold will know. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the